Okay, you're unmuted.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call the January 12th, 2026 Downtown Development Authority Board meeting to order. And we switched a couple things up here. Roll call first.
Alan Costello.
Here.
Anthony Barber.
Here.
Brian Rosen.
Here.
Jim Knight.
Here.
Cole Davids.
Here.
Aaron Oliver.
Here. And now we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, my favorite thing. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so that brings us to, do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, sir.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
So moved and second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. And that brings us to public comments and partner reports limited. Now, I noticed it said 2 minutes on the last meeting. It says
Down to
3
3.
minutes this time.
Yeah, we're being consistent with our
Okay,
partners.
just wanted to make sure. So it's 3 minutes, and I think you don't have to state your address anymore. Is that correct?
Just the
So-
zip code.
Just the zip code, okay. So anybody that would like to approach, please give us your name and your zip code. And welcome. And Happy New Year to everybody.
Same to you as well. My name is Cynthia Ridley. My zip code is 33444 here in Delray Beach. I'm here to say thank you for my 12 days of Christmas. Excellent for 12 days. We had events in Delray Beach. Thank you for what you gave to me to make it a very, very good pajama party on the avenue. I would also like to thank Mr. Anthony for opening up for us for our kickoff for 12 Days of Christmas. He opened up his restaurant. We were able to come there and meet and greet some people from the community to kick off our 12 Days of Christmas. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So next year I'll be back again and probably ask for a little bit more because the more I come here, the little bit more I get organized and asking for things I do need. But it was able to cover everything I needed for the pajama party and a little bit more. So I am grateful. But I would challenge each and every one of you that's sitting here up here today to next year when I come, I'm going to ask each one of you, challenge you to give me 3 gift cards to this community. Children was running me down for gift cards I did not have. So we was lucky to have a little bit money over that we can go back because he followed me all the way around. These 3 young men. They're actually triplets that live in this community. And he was asking for a gift card and I was not able to give him a gift card. Truly, he ran me down and finally I said we had some extra money that to give him a gift card, but I didn't know which one it was to give it to because all 3 of them look just alike. So I was able to come back with some of the money that was raised a little bit extra to give gift cards out. So my challenge is to you as a board. Next year when I come, I would like each one of you to give me 3 gift cards to give back to the teenagers that live in this community because we weren't able to do that and it's hard to give things to teens in this community. So I would like to challenge you next year to do that for me. And again, I say thank you for 12 Days of Christmas and I'll see you sometime soon, probably in November. Thank you again.
Thank you for putting it on and glad it went so well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you also for coming and choosing Grooves to host your event. It was very impactful. We saw a lot of people. Also, one of the things that I think is very important is that whatever we do with the DDA's funds, in a sense, circulates and manifests itself in one of 2 ways that I think is important, which is either coming back to the city so that it benefits the city residents and or it's built or used to support businesses within the DDA. And I think that both initiatives were met in doing so. And I thank everyone for agreeing to do that, and it was a great event. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
I am Patrick Lamb, 3348 is my zip code. Good afternoon. My wife and I recently moved here, so I'm relatively new to the area. I came out today basically just to make new friends and to learn a little more about the city and share a little bit about maybe it's something I could offer to the community. The cliff notes on my background: I operate in two worlds, music and business. As a saxophonist, I've toured the world with Smokey Robinson, Bobby Caldwell, two-time Grammy winner Diane Shure. And then on the business side, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a background in business. I started a ticket company I've done over 50 million with. And I've produced over 300 concerts. So I work with some 5-star resorts, one of which is in Oregon. And every concert I've produced is sold out. I've been doing that the last 14 years. So most relevant to this, I just wanted to say that I'd love to participate in activities here for the city of Delray and the Gulf Coast area. Maybe bringing those types of concerts to the area. There seems to be a direct value between, it says that's on your website. It says doing all things fun. What's the logo? What does it say?
It says there's always something fun to do.
There's always something fun to do. So that's why I'm here, do fun things. And anyway, I recently had my first experience working with Delray Beach Authority, specifically Laura Simon and Victoria Silvio, in putting on a Charlie Brown Christmas. And people loved it, and it was at Old School Square. It was a wonderful experience. If they're any indication of the city of Delray, you should be all very proud. They were professional, detailed, responsive, kind, and obviously have a vision for Old School Square in the city. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I look forward to meeting you all in person.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you. Welcome to Delray Beach. And now I'm seeing why he looked so familiar when he walked in. I'm like, okay. But welcome to Delray, and I'm glad we're able to do that show. And you have the relationship with our staff. Please follow up, as we're always looking for support and ways to try to activate Old School Square. Whether it's us behind the wheel and or the city of Delray Beach. So, you're working and talking with the right people.
And sold out events are something we always love to hear. So
It was great.
that brings us
Wait,
to the.
Jimmy, we have one more. We have a partner.
Oh, I'm
report.
sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't-
It's hiding in the background.
Very important one.
Yes.
At that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Jim Schmidt, Downtown Sergeant. So last month we responded to 579 incidences. Of those, we took 361 reports. 127 of those could be classified as incident reports. We conducted 253 traffic stops, and we made 21 arrests. The other two areas that we are concentrating on, there was no significant crime trends per se, but two areas that we're focusing on is the bicycles on the avenue. The kids, we're stopping them, we're issuing them a citation, we're calling the parents, and having them come pick them up. And the other one is the underage drinking at night. So we're proactively addressing that. Unfortunately, working with ABT, and we've had to make some arrests on that. So we do ask for everybody's cooperation and really adhere to this, because we have some incidents that's coming up, and it's definitely a public safety issue that we're taking very serious. So, have anything for me?
Yeah, if I could ask a couple of questions. One is, what is the law with regards to the bikes on Atlantic Avenue and so forth? I know on Swinton, I think they're allowed to share the road, so forth. What is the current?
Well, actually, Atlantic Avenue has one of the broadest bicycle things, where it's the only place in the city that you can actually ride it on the sidewalk. But that's not really what we're addressing. We're just addressing the safety issue for the kids. And with bicycles, it's pretty broad. It's just a bicycle violation. It's not like your vehicle. So if we see something, we'll obviously articulate what we see or perceive to be a danger. But it's a broader, non-specific violation.
So this is the wheelies and things like that. They're riding up and down the street and groups and so forth. And are the electric bikes a big part of that issue too? Or are you having issues with that as well? Or
yes, we are addressing the electric bikes. That's primarily being looked into by our traffic unit because there's a thing with the CCs and what areas they can ride on and so forth. What I was referring to was primarily the juveniles doing the wheelies and stuff downtown.
Give it to me.
They're good, but it's not the right spot.
It's amazing what they can do. Yeah, I can't believe they don't crash more often. So.
Yeah, you're saving kids broken arms and legs, really.
You didn't have to get
And let the record show that Jewel is here. Thank you.
Sorry, I
And
was coming from Miami in
I
traffic.
get it. Believe me. That's
So sorry.
not a problem. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Did we get all those reports in now, or are you missing
We're working
one
on it.
still?
We're working.
Okay.
Jules.
I'm going to give it at the end.
Perfect. Beautiful. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Any other questions here?
Great.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Stay safe. Okay, that brings us to the consent agenda and the board meeting minutes that we have. December 8th, I think, is the first one. And any questions, comments, or anything else?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
All right.
That's it. Okay, so that's motion second. All right, so that brings us to new business. Fee waiver request is partnership with the Palm Beach Reggae Festival and Spady Museum.
Fantastic. So today we have Charlene Farrington, who is the executive director of the Spady Museum, also accompanied by Lloyd Stanberry, who is part of the Palm Beach Reggae Festival initiative. So, Charlene, you want to give us a little overview?
Would love to. First, let me say thank you for the many, many years of partnership. The DDA has been supporting us for lots of years, and we have done so many programs in this community, it's hard to even delineate. Most recently, though, you have helped us with our annual Emancipation Day celebrations on May 20th. So thank you. Thank you for all of your support. We are here to request yet again your support for a fee waiver or minimally a fee reduction on a new program that we are launching. The Cultural Council for Palm Beach County awarded us a grant for a new idea, and the idea is a reggae festival. We were approached to be the fiduciary for the event because we have such a long-standing relationship with the Cultural Council. Lloyd Stanberry, who's standing behind me, come on, is a festival producer. So he will be doing all the work for this reggae festival, and we are hoping to host it at Old School Square because we know how popular reggae is. Back in the, I shouldn't give you the date because it'll age me, but back in the 1970s, we were listening to live reggae at Boston's on the Beach.
Yes.
And so I know how much fun
I
reggae
was too.
is. Yes. I was 6, by the way.
Same with me. Same with me, but I still loved it.
Yeah.
And there was no underage drinking going
Right,
on there.
none at all. Grape juice. So we are bringing this event in March, and it promises to be a wonderful event for the community. We've been talking about it with different people, and I haven't heard anyone who says reggae. Everyone is like, reggae music, I can't wait. So we have 3 days planned, and we are requesting respectfully your assistance with the fees. And if you would like some additional details about what the event will entail, I'll let Lloyd give you that information. Question? More information?
Start on the left, Aaron. You have any questions?
No, you have me at reggae.
No, I'm all set. It's what, 2 films and then a couple concerts, I think, right? And plus.
Yeah.
Good morning. So yes, it's a 3-day event we're planning. The first day we present a film. On the second day we have the concert, and on the final day we have another film presentation. So it's a music, arts, and visual arts and film festival, not just music.
Perfect. Brian?
I'd like to just say, one, working with Spady Museum, working to, use this as a cultural hub, which I do believe Old School Square is the cultural hub for our downtown. I'm for a full waiver, not a partial waiver, a full waiver of the cost because this is taking place in a couple different parts of the venue. I'd like to, work with our partner Spady, our city, our other partner who provides us the funds. This is the stuff we want to see happen. So that's where I am. That's where my support is, and I'll leave it to everyone else. But, I know a little bit about your backgrounds, and I'm just, again, love working with Spady and kind of bringing it all together. So, and I love reggae, too. That's a win.
I'm
Anthony?
100% in agreement.
Thank you.
Full fee waiver.
Is there anything we could do beyond the fee waiver?
It's a good question.
So just for disclosure, when I think Charlene, they came up with the idea, we got on a phone call together, walked through the space, figure out how to do something magnificent. We were trying to do it in February, unfortunately, because February is Reggae Month. However, it's due to the tennis tournament, it wasn't conducive. So we found March to be the best location. They applied for the grant, so they did all this before they got the grant. And initially it was discussed as a partnership. So there is, to your question, there is potentially more that we could do as a partnership part of this, but again, it's the structure we have in place is for the fee waiver. However, there is partnership, meaning if there's any other expenses that you would put in there that would offset the expenses that they're having to endure.
I don't want to belabor it with more questions I could have asked you when we met, but
sure, that's okay.
That's just me. Are you having alcohol?
Yes.
Just
of
one.
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you just walk it down? Are you using? Are they using our vendor to make this a smooth process, or are you using your own vendor, or what else are you doing?
So that is undecided.
Okay.
And it depends on the outcome of this meeting today. But we're open to working with the DDA with regard to the concessions for beverages and so on. Yes, so it's open. It's on the table for a negotiation, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that I'm definitely in favor of the fee waiver. But I guess I've already expressed that. I would encourage you to try to work with DDA staff to make your process as smooth and as seamless as possible as far as who Old School Square uses as an alcohol vendor that would, based on some of the opinions of other officials, when we waive fees, which is essentially a waiver of tax money and all of this, it quiets some of the gallery if there is a means of method that everyone seems to benefit. Not that I'm asking for your money, but when you come back next year and you're like, hey, we're going to do the reggae festival, now I want you to pay for the police and the gates and this, no problem. That's where I'm at with that. So I just ask that if you could investigate if that's something that would work for your event. If it doesn't, it just doesn't work. But if you could meet with DDA staff to have that discussion.
Understood.
That's it.
And appreciate it. Thank you.
Al?
Thank you.
I'm just happy to see it. I'm listening to see what you guys propose.
I am very excited about it too. My dog Ziggy, who goes everywhere with me, is named after Ziggy Marley, so that puts it right there. So, and if there's a choice between Ziggy and Jim, the wife gets rid of me and Ziggy stays. So that's just. Anyhow, no, I'm very excited about it. I actually did attend Spady many moons ago, and Boston's. I think it was Monday night was reggae night with the limbo and everything else and so forth, and. That's dating us a bit, and we probably were there underage at the time, but
I think it was 18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
it was 18 back
18.
then.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
anyhow, I'm very excited about it. I also would encourage if there's more that we can do without causing problems with Tallahassee and whatever else and so forth, and I would be all in favor, because this is really bringing together east of I-95, as I like to say, and everything, and I think it's important, it's there's a lot going on and going to be going on east of I-95, but I want to do as much as we can to make it happen sooner than later, and events and things like this, if this helps, let's make it happen. So
Right.
I would be up to the board with any suggestions.
I'll make a motion.
Well, before you do,
Okay.
Laura, do you have a plan, an idea of what you'd like to?
Well, I think
Suggest?
their basic cost of production for this type of event, that's going to be enclosed with a fence. There's obviously tents and vendor rentals, which we have to get through, understanding what that looks like. And also in the gym, the production costs that are part of that. So typically, the expenses are pretty standard.
Yeah.
I know Lloyd's got his own production team that he's working with for the sound and the lighting. But we haven't really got into the ticket, VIP, that type of equipment and things that are there. So I'd need to come back with you. I think it's just understanding if there's a threshold that you all see, or if you want us to take, based on our expertise, to do what's best for the organization, giving us a direction. So, it's right now we don't have a lot of time based on the planning piece of it. So I don't want to have to come back again to the board. So I would just like to understand a little bit clearer direction if there's a financial threshold of that, or if you want to look at saying, we absorb some of the costs on equipment. And then with the opportunity to look at
I'd leave it to you
using
guys in your
concessions.
budget, because
Okay.
honestly, you have the budget, where
Right.
we've got the fat and where we might not have the fat. So I
Perfect.
don't want to tell you to do something, but I think there's consensus on support beyond the waiver.
Okay.
And I also just want to be clear, because there's other people that are going to say, oh, they waived the whole thing, free waivers. This is a non-for-profit based in West
Right.
Atlantic Avenue, a partner of our city and of Old School Square, that it's an honor to host this and work with them. And
Absolutely.
that is why the fee is being waived, in my opinion, and I think it's a lot of this board as well. So just want to be very clear
Good.
with that as, other people approach you, what it is.
I
that-
want
I appreciate that.
to just get out that what Anthony said is a smart approach.
Yes.
And I hope we'll take that into consideration,
Thank you.
because so many people question when we go 100%.
Right.
And one thing just to add to this, is a fundraiser also for the victims in Jamaica. And that also, I'm sure most of you know that our community has a very rich Caribbean history here and culture here, that we have been working for years with Spady and the community to highlight that. So it's very important to us to recognize that.
And the city, all the
Yeah,
city staff,
absolutely.
it's the
Yeah,
city.
the
This
city.
is the city. So.
I want to jump in
residents.
just for
Yeah.
one split second, just because we touched on a personal element. I lived in the Caribbean for 12 years. I sat on the board of directors for the Caribbean Tourism Organization, and we raised funds. We actually did one of our Fashion Week events during Fashion Week. I did a separate individual event with a big giant fashion show, and the two charities that were given all of the money, 100% of the money. We kept none of the money, and I contributed all of the cost of me putting together the show went to building homes in Haiti, and also went to, for the Caribbean Tourism Organization, for the scholarships for kids in the Caribbean that couldn't afford to attend certain schools, so it was scholarships for them to enter into certain programs, and I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. So if there is any way that my relationship, even though I don't currently sit on the board because my time passed, I still have all of those relationships with the heads of all of the Caribbean nations. If there's anything that I can do, whether it's entertainment or anything to help connect you with people, happy to do it. More than happy to do it.
Thank you for that.
You got
Thank
it.
you so much.
So we have a motion. I don't think we have
Oh,
a
I
second
didn't do the
yet.
formal motion. My motion is to waive all of the costs associated with the venue. And I think there's, as well as some additional support, which we'll leave it for the staff to work with, the party and the plans.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We look forward to it. Very excited. We hope
Can I
we
just
can.
ask, was everyone all in favor? I just want to make sure
Yeah.
everybody's
Yes,
in
all in
favor.
favor.
Okay.
Aye.
Any opposed?
You have to
Okay.
ask if anyone's
Nobody's
opposed.
opposed.
I didn't
Okay.
need to even ask that.
Okay.
Thank you for helping us to bring people together around Black history.
Yeah, and thanks
Yes.
for working with us at Old School Square. Let's do more stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank
more.
you. Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the art and grant application, program review discussion. Anthony, I think that's you. 5B.
Do you want me to tee it up, or do you want to?
Set it up.
Let me set it for you?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
Anthony,
Ah.
bring your mic down.
I had it up here. I just.
Okay, so based on last month's discussion at the December 8th meeting, raised by Board Member Barber to bring forward a new style of grants for businesses or and business development in our downtown district. I provided you all with a little overview summary, as well as the current grant program that we, as the Downtown Development Authority, have in our organization, which is the only grant that we have currently. But I just threw in some things here. This part of for the meeting, I'd like to get some discussion and feedback from the board collectively, led by Anthony, and allow us to bring something back more formal in a future meeting. So.
Okay, so
Good.
I think most of you all kind of heard me last time about what I was discussing. So one thing that I'm a personal champion of is that in some way, whatever we shell out, give out, pass out via waiver or grant or any of that as far as money is concerned, that it somehow makes its way back into the city or within it directly impacts an event or something happening within the DDA districts, the DDA itself. So the idea here was that, let's say if you wanted to have a festival in front of your business and the permitting fees were $1,500 as an example, and you could come and ask the DDA, hey, can you help us pay these permitting fees or these fees, and that fees, those monies would never touch the hands of the persons involved, but the DDA would then, on behalf of the petitioning person or party or business, pay those fees. So that's still the money circulating within itself, and it's an event that could be held at a private venue, but it's directly impacting or supporting something that goes on within the DDA, as opposed to just a grant like you need $1,500, but that $1,500 is going to go to, it's a part of the event that you're going to have, but that money is going outside of the city. So if you wanted to bring in a private security company for your event, right? Well, this isn't for that. This is for things that would stay within the city, stay within the money stays within. So it's kind of like it would almost be the same way as if you went to the city and asked the city for a waiver, but here's another pathway to get that same permitting fee or licensing fee or application fee paid for through this channel. That's it.
A couple things, if I may, Chair.
Yeah, please.
One, working, knowing Jeff's back there and the city in general, there's less waivers happening at this point. And, they've changed the structure on how they're doing a lot of that. So I think that when activations are happening, and these are smaller events possibly, or again, things going in with our businesses that have, whether it's a legacy business or not, to help support, bring life. And again, we have some, I saw some barriers as far as where we'd be looking to support the events, west of Swinton, not on east of Atlantic Avenue, and what was proposed here. So I like that. And, the only thing that I would mention is that I saw there was something on the art pieces or amenities. And what I would like to do is, instead of paying for the more art, I'd rather have that go towards maintaining the art. because there's a lot of art that gets put up and that is not then maintained, that's around our downtown. And we really need to help work to keep all, we brought it up before. Maruska did an amazing job, taking note of all the art and starting to budget some money towards it. But I want to take care of the art we have and have an art program in place before we start putting out money for more art. That's just my personal opinion on the art piece of it. But in general, it's definitely something I'd support. And I just want to make sure that, similar to what he was saying, was the CRA used to have a program, and it was for, and the city still does it. It's for infrastructure, right? It's for the grant. The monies go in, and it's not that business gets it and can use it for quote unquote marketing dollars. But if the dollars we're giving that the city has given us are going to help pay permit fees that the city then gets, so the money's kind of staying within the city. That's what I think Anthony was really trying to say, is that there's certain things the funds can go towards and certain things they cannot, and really the purpose of it all, in theory, is really to make sure that it's going back into the city or back into the something that's like directly what the DDA is trying to achieve, which is
As a real life example, just a real example, if there are certain permit fees that are astronomical, and if you cannot take care of certain permit fees, you could find yourself not having the business that you want to have, so to speak, based on just proximity to certain other things. Some of those fees need assistance because they're really high fees that the city requires. But you can't go to the city and say, hey, I know you want $5,000 for this fee annually or whatever it may be, but we could then, as a DDA board, say, oh, your business qualifies, you already pay the same millage rate, you do this, you do that. Let us help you. Let us help you do the thing that the money would go back to the city.
Could that be for an outdoor dining permit or something?
Any of that.
Anthony, what permit fees are $5,000?
$5,000 might have been a stretch of an example, but there's definitely I'm pretty sure there's a $3,400 fee.
For what?
There's a conditional use application that I think runs up to about $3,400, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe $3,700.
I don't know. I'm confused about all of this. The DDA is fortunate that what we do help build the city, and now the city is building, and in turn we get larger tax dollars. And I would love to see the money get used back into the business community. I don't know if permits are the only way. I remember the sign program for the CRA. I don't know if they still have that, but items that we would like to see happen, like painting of properties or improving,
But those exist. Those programs already exist within the structure of different entities,
but not the DDA.
But so give me 1 second. So that, for example, the CRA does have a paint up and signage grant, right? But it doesn't cover the permit fees.
It doesn't cover the downtown where we are either.
Because it's not in the CRA district. So what you're talking about is actually a step further than what I'm speaking about. I'm only speaking about application fees and licensing for example, let's say if the Reggae Fest wanted to block off Atlantic Avenue, right?
Yeah.
There's a permit fee associated with that. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
that's it. That's all.
I was telling Laura, I just had a grill go dead on me, and I had to buy a new grill this week. And, it's an improvement to the business, and I'd love to get an entity that would split the price with me or whatever. So my point is, every business has expenses, and perhaps the most logical thing is what you're just describing, which is something that goes back into the city, like permit fees. But every business has permit fees, and everyone should take advantage if we make it available. So how much money do we have? How do we limit it?
And that's why he was trying to keep it on legacy businesses as well as businesses that have been here.
That's my point.
So we're going to keep it on helping expand our current businesses. It's not something we give out.
It has to be controlled in some fashion with benefit for everybody, because the money is there, and I do agree we should use it. And I think it's a great idea back into the city. I just don't know where to start it and stop it, because there's so many various.
I think this is direction that staff is looking for, correct? And so I think we're just trying to find a consensus up here. Is this something we're interested in seeing happen? I do like the idea of happening with legacy businesses. I do like it happening from east of 95 into Swinton to try to focus. I mean, if we haven't heard once, we've heard 100 times from the commission that they want to see things happening east of 95 to Swinton and so forth. So if we can target those areas, I think it's very important. And I think to the extent that you can come back with a program that makes sense to help out with this, I think it's something we should be looking into.
And I think I'm not sure about limiting it, but those are things we'll have to. I think there could be some tiered programs too. So those are things that we'll look into and try to.
Do you need a motion to move forward on this, or is
well, let's listen to everybody else, and I think. Yep.
What's the average, like, how many? If a business opens up right now on Atlantic Avenue, what's like? 'Cause we have a lot of closed businesses, so what's the, like? There's not a lot of like City Oysters or Elizabeth's and business like that are cut 432. So the little shops that open up and then disappear. So if I were open up a business and then I get a grant from the DDA, right, taxpayers' dollar, and I don't make it,
right?
Is it possible like to do like a loan, like a zero interest loan or something we could do?
Well, I think there's things that's what they were really speaking about, is like we focus on those businesses that are either already open and doing redevelopment, or do we have a separate program that is focused around
means it should be
just signage or something that is a sign permit fee, which is something that we had as an organization back in the 60s or in the 70s and 80s. We did a sign program, a grant program for that. So, which is something that all businesses will need, obviously, as they open up. So that could be focused on like the new business grant program.
I'm just trying to figure out how much money is it possible that we could lose, and if my business isn't in the location, I'm not eligible for it.
Right? Do you see it as a loss if the money goes back to the city?
I just don't understand. If I'm opening up a business, if I'm relying on $1,200 to make my business work, I'm gonna have bigger issues.
No.
I think this is existing, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's written in here as existing.
It says that they got to be around for a minimum period, and it says
nothing's been established yet. So this is all discussion.
Right, it's a good memorandum though. It's good. What you guys put together is pretty clear and clean.
Okay.
Yeah. So not like here I am coming down here to do my BTR and all this, and I need $125. If I need $125, I may as well just
leave.
There you go. But if I need $3,400 in order to put a band outside, and that's a catalyst, why should I? Because the trade-off is different on East and West Atlantic. For example, I'll give you Al's example. He likes to have things going on at Old School Square because
great location. Yeah,
that brings organic traffic to the area. But if Windy City Pizza wants to put a band outside on the street, they've got to pay a permit application and hope that people want to come hear the band.
That's what I'm getting at. That's part of knowing your location and what you signed up for. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, I just don't. It's like if the DDA gives somebody $3,400 and they make $10,000.
That's a good thing because we're supporting one of our local businesses.
We'll give them that $3,400 back. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like,
right. For me,
if it's a loss, I mean, I just don't understand what are we really trying to accomplish. We're just trying to
business support.
If we could finish up with the comments on this side of the aisle, then we'll come back on this one.
I kind of brought this up to Laura a bit. I don't necessarily know how fair it is to limit the location of where you can. I mean, everyone's paying into the DDA
Your mic
tax.
on?
It should be on, I think.
Okay.
I mean, that's a question for Quentin too. If you can limit the location of where this is, and I don't necessarily know how fair that is. Sure, people in East Atlantic get a lot more traffic, but they're also paying way higher rents. There's a trade-off for all this stuff. So that's kind of my only concern is being equal to everyone on this.
Yeah, I think you can target certain areas where you see a bigger need for improvement. You could also do a pilot program to see how much it's used, if it's used to the extent it's used, or you could just go full district wide. So there's no impediment for you to target a certain area if there's a reason to do that. And I think all the discussions since I've been here have disclosed those reasons why you would do that if that's what you choose to do, from east of 95 to Swinton.
If I can, maybe, if you look at the in lieu parking program as an example, they have different fees set for different areas. If you're out east of 95 to Swinton, it's
Right.
lesser amount than it is if you're in the heart of the downtown and things like that and so forth. So maybe that is a better way to approach it. Maybe we shouldn't be draconian and say it's not allowed across the whole
Tiered,
district,
like-
Right, it's
but maybe
incentivizing.
tiered somehow. If we could look into that, and maybe that's a scenario, because there's certainly, we want businesses, east of 95 to Swinton. We want that happening and going and so forth. And there's a lot of land that's sitting out there and so forth that's been trying to get developed for a long time. And if we can help,
There's no growth.
yeah.
Once there's growth, I was looking into that. I was looking into the red and white building a couple years ago when it was for sale. Love it, right? But there's no foot traffic, and as long as the city and however it's working out keeps going back and forth with this development, nothing's ever going to happen. It's going to be like a Band-Aid for your business because it's going to look good for that month and then go back down again.
And that's funny you say that, because now there is a business there that's open, right? And so they'll probably be looking for a conditional use application to have a band on their back porch, right? And so now that they've taken what's essentially a risk, because they're a pioneer now, they're out, well, not a pioneer, but they're the next guy to try it now, right? So now they're saying, well, I put whatever I put into the walls. Now, in order to make this a destination, because I'm not getting organic foot traffic, can the city or can the DDA help me pay this fee so that at least I can have this as an attraction, or whatever it may be? That's where I'm at with that.
Nothing would change. It's until we get a whole bunch of other things accomplished, nothing's going to change over there. Now that we got more businesses there, we got more drug problems over the little park. It's just.
But
I get it.
I want to jump in just because I have a personal experience with the first business that I did in Delray. So when I first came here and I started, I took on a location that was down in Pineapple Grove before Pineapple Grove is what it is today. So directly across the street from the store that I then made 2 5-year leases with was an empty field and a chain link fence. And I had a vested interest in making my business successful, and went to Laura and we talked about, and she had just started, it was like the first year she was employed working for the DDA, and discussed okay, let's start a fashion week so that all of a sudden people know that Delray has fashion, because I was directly related to that, and then went full force ahead to try and create a festival, not a festival, but an event that went on, it eventually went on for a week, to draw people to the area for that particular kind of business. So I know exactly what that feels like, and I wasn't located in an area, that was west of Swinton and east of 95. So I am all for it. I love the idea of it going back into the city. I don't think that we should limit who can apply for it. And then I think the idea is, do we make it a first come, first served basis, or do we actually make a little bit of a business perspective on it and create an application process where it's almost like a little mini business plan, where someone has to fill out an application that makes them put some thought into what they're doing, so that they can understand if they're going to be wasting the money or not wasting the money, even regardless of the fact that it's coming back into the city, whether it's a smart move for them. That's just one way that we might actually not only help them financially, but help them business-wise.
But that's
Right.
that's our money going to their business.
I understand. The only thing I'm saying is that if it's the intent to put a enough of a scrutinizing sort of application process in place, then at least what we're doing is we're helping businesses that are already thinking on the right track of becoming successful, which only helps us as a downtown thrive. To your point, we don't want somebody, and I understand you're saying it's already existing businesses, but if it were a new or new-ish and so forth, you don't want someone that's coming in that's here for 3 months and then they fail and they walk out the door. You want someone that's going to stay.
I think that we're looking for direction. Do you have the direction that you need? I mean, is there consensus here that we'd like to explore this further? I mean, we're not voting on this right now or anything else.
Jim, I would like to say one thing. That is that college tuitions doubled when the government started freeing up money for like Pell Grants and student loans. The more money you give the kids, the more the colleges raised it because they could get more money. If we make a major hit on fees to the city, covering it with DDA money, I think it may be a trigger for a natural increase by the city because, every time, because one of the things about city permits and stuff is people moan and groan and complain about the price of a business tax license. If the DDA funded every business tax license for every business, it's only $190.
We're not talking about business tax licenses.
But the point is
and we're talking about $20,000
we may be
budget.
putting money into the wrong item. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Even though it comes back to the city, it's really not a business improvement. It's just making the city fees less painful.
You're talking about different things, though, than what we're talking
Well,
about.
I mean, he's just giving an idea, an example. I think it's just examples you all are giving. So I think it's which is very good, and this is important for us to hear and listen, and also do other due diligence research, work with the city, understand what the fees are, maybe asking some of our businesses what are the hurdles. So, which we haven't, we've heard some of that. I do know that there are some of our longstanding businesses that need improvements, that it is a daunting task to look at, like going through that process. So I do appreciate everyone's discussion. It was really good. I think asking our partner organizations with the CRA, West Palm DDA has some programs and they're evolving new programs too. So getting some feedback from other organizations would, and I have a meeting later this week with our downtown organization from across the state. So I will pose that to them and get some feedback and put something together and update you all as we go forward.
I think it'd be helpful because from the CRA, I helped some people over the years with a paint up or whatever the facade grant, whatever it was called, and so forth. And there's a process you have to go through. You have to demonstrate that you're a going concern, everything else, and so forth. And so I think that gives you some direction to look into it and explore it a little bit further. With that, I think that's it on this point. And
perfect.
I think we need to take into consideration everybody's comments here. It's not just
very good.
One of us, but all of us. So
awesome. Thank you all very much.
And so that brings us to the bike pump and fixing stations pilot program.
Fantastic. All right, great. So just for you all to know that Albert Richwagon is here if you have questions for him. And then if he wanted to make any comments too, I just wanted to make sure that we recognized him. I did, as part of the direction, I did meet with the traffic. I got some information from Mr. Richwagon and spoke with Bradley out of Boca Raton and got feedback and insight from them on the actual program, the stations, how it came about, how it's working for them, and all of that I did provide in a memo. But overall, the stations themselves are very well received. They've monitoring the different locations where they are, now their uses, as well as adding new stations based on volume of business, whether it's Palm Tran ridership data that they've received. The library, they installed a station based on the use for the residents. But they have not seen any nuisance issues evolve from that. They do have a lot more bike trails and parks where they're installed currently, but he did recommend it as an asset for the city. So also provided you with the outline of the cost. And if we went forward with sponsoring this as a pilot program, proposing different locations. I did propose the Gleason Park right there on Atlantic Avenue and A1A. One, because there are two reasons. One's because there is a camera. We have the cameras that are outside the building that we could monitor usage with, as well as the visitor information center is there, and they could be able to monitor that as well. Because I do think providing data around this, if the use, to see how successful it is or how it is being used, is important if we want to move forward in installing new stations. But obviously, we'd want to work closely with the city, take this to the city and say this is an initiative that the DDA would want to sponsor as a pilot program, and get feedback from them before we did anything. So, and I know there was also discussion of whether it's, if we do one or two based on, it's really board direction. We do have funds available for that. So
I would start with Aaron on the left over here.
Yes,
He seems ready to.
sir. Yes.
You know my concern.
Yes, sir.
Is it more towards the left of the bike racks where the restrooms are at?
We would put it on that side. Mhm.
Okay.
That's where that camera, because we have a camera that points out onto the Atlantic Avenue side. So.
That's all I care about. Cole?
I'm for it. I think, one, to start this pilot program and then take it from there.
Right.
I'd ask Jeff maybe to come up. I think Albert spoke at a city meeting too, and we're talking about some city properties. I know Jeff brought it up last time. So any insights they have, I'd just like to know. As we kind of make
part
a
of
motion.
part of the process obviously is to just get your feedback, and then obviously if it's something that's not going to work, then
Yeah, I know, but Albert spoke at the city too. I saw.
Oh, he
the
did?
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, and if Jeff Horace, Assistant City Manager, if I recall correctly, Albert came forward and you all jumped in real quick and said, hey, that's something we might want to look into, and that was kind of the extent of the conversation as far as I know.
Are you more or less okay with the areas we're talking about in general, or you can work with the staff to see if some of the proposed areas we're talking about can work?
With staff to figure out, if there's any conflicts in those areas, but
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I don't think anybody really had any major issues with it.
No, I think everyone's on board. Again, I just want to make sure, when we were talking about the park last time, I know, we want to make sure if we're doing stuff on city property that, city's on board, that's all.
The person who owns the
I'm trying to
property
get
knows
you,
what's
yeah,
going on.
exactly, yeah. So just, bringing you in, so that's it. But if you like it, and again, I think the commission was on board, it's something I support too, so.
yeah, I don't know
think
if
it's
they went to
anything we
the
have any
commission
major
yet.
concerns with.
All right, cool. That's all I wanted to
Anthony?
hear.
I'm good. I like it. Joe?
I agree.
Al?
I love it, and if we're only going to do one, I think Gleason is great because it's got a camera. My biggest concern is vandalism. The price is amazing. Albert's a great guy, and he's volunteered to keep his eye on them, and I think we should do more than one to start. I think we should get a second one, so we have one at one end of the city and one at another, because the bike riders are here to stay. Contrary to what I would do, which is take the bikes and put them in the garage and just drive your car, which is all I'll ever do. But I think it's a great idea. And again, protecting it from vandalism and keeping them operational would be my most important concerns.
I do think also that, if we're going to put the one, if we're proposing to do one all the way east, I think whether it's the tennis center, Pompey Park, Libby Park, somewhere there should be one in the west as well, or at east of 95.
Nobody riding bikes over there.
It's just, whether, I see all the guys, and I don't even know whether, and Albert, you may be able to speak to this, whether the guys that are riding the $10,000 bikes up and down A1A, so forth, do they have all their stuff with them? Do they utilize this? And you see that happening?
Yes. So there's a different use for all the racks. So Boca has 29 of them, and you'll see the one on A1A at the end of Palmetto Park Road at the Patrick Park. You'll see the road guys using that, and then you'll see them at the library where there's just various people who use their bikes for transportation using that one, and then you'll see one out at the train station that's a whole different use as well. They have them at the pickleball station. It's a lot of kids. So I agree with two different locations. The most prolific bike use in town would be the Gleason Street, the Atlantic Avenue spot, and I think it would benefit the western community to put one near the library and or Pompey Park as well. I think the library would be more of a neutral position and probably get less vandalism near the bike rack. And as far as like homeless people or things like that going on, so at my store we get a lot of homeless guys that their bike is their car, and the quickest way to get them to move through Delray is to fix their bike and keep them rolling. So we'll fix their bikes for free, and or customers will even donate the cost of the tube, and we'll do the labor for them to keep them moving. One, and as far as location goes, it can be trial and error. It's very easy to install it, and say we put it by the bathrooms and there's anything pops up, it's like, oh, this isn't working. I can take that rack out in 20 minutes and grind off the lag bolts and move it to a new location very easily. There's nothing permanent about it. It can be easily moved and removed.
And we thank you for your installation waiving of
Yeah.
costs and all your maintenance waiving of costs on the
Yeah,
record. So thank you. That's generous. So,
Off the record, we're not going to mention that to Boca.
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for the community, and we get a lot of people that come to the store that want to borrow tools, and we don't loan tools, so it's going
I
to be a way
support
for
the
them.
two, just for
It's going to be a way for them to fix their bikes. And if you get them from DDA, which is what I recommend, there's actually an app where people can locate the racks all around the country on the DDA app.
Oh, that's good. That's data.
That's huge.
Yeah, that
It's
sounds
really
excellent.
good.
So-
They're amazing.
I'd like to see if there's consensus for two of them up here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I make a motion for two.
Okay, can
I
I,
think they're talking about the library.
yeah, it would need to be in the DDA district, just for the record.
The library, so.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Is this an action item?
We need
Uh,
to take.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, consensus would be great. Mhm.
Can we please make sure that we put it on the other side of the bike racks? Because I see this corner every weekend, and it's all the Tour de A1A people. They 20, 30 bikes. They get in front of the restrooms. They block that area. Then they get in front of the visitor center, lay their bikes on the bushes and everything, and they sit there and hang out, which is fine. But can we just put it where Laura said is good to go, near the bathrooms, on that side by the bike rack?
When the time comes to site, we can certainly all sit down and figure out what's
Yes.
going to be the best site, what's not going to cause conflict with other uses.
Because our customers for Pure Vita and Boston's and me all walk that way, and they got to walk over bicycles that are
There's a
laying
way
there.
to fix that. So the reason cyclists, road guys, the reason road guys put their bikes like everywhere where you can see them is because they won't put their bike in a wheel jamming rack, like a schoolyard rack. They need to hang their bike from the seat. And
That's
if you
not
look,
our problem, though. I understand the method, but
well, it's supplying a place for they're coming to spend money in our town.
No, they're driving right
They're
through.
customers. So what I would be willing to do also is to pay for a rack that's specific to those roadie guys, and we can just put it out in front of the information center next to the other rack on weekends, and those guys will all hang their bikes on that rack and only on that rack. They prefer it. And there's a coffee shop on Federal, just south of Atlantic Avenue, Deeks, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Every weekend he puts 2 of those racks outside, and literally it'll be full of bikes. They love those racks because it doesn't damage their bikes. And I'll buy one and donate it.
but they're resting and then they're getting back on their bikes, heading back. So they're not sitting there hanging out at Pure Vita and
They're
eating.
going to get coffee. They're going to get a drink. They're
I'm right there. I
filling
watch it
their
every
water
weekend.
bottles.
Just going to put the machine down towards the bathrooms if we make this decision. I'm for it, but just think about the foot traffic and the businesses.
So how Boca did it was when they decided, they said, we would like to put the rack here. Then they submitted it to the city, and then like the library, they had their feedback of where they wanted it.
Right.
They actually had to pour a slab because they didn't want it where we thought it was a good idea, so they poured a slab. And then Parks and Rec, out of all of the pickleball courts, they had their say, and we thought it would be great here, and they said, no, we want it here. So we were very moldable to where it went to make it work for everybody.
Good. We'll make,
So can I get a motion for 2 racks, right?
A motion for 2 trial versions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
Thanks,
Albert.
for your
Albert.
Thank you,
time.
Albert. Thank you, Jeff.
As
The
always.
same city green color form.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll follow up with you because yeah.
Thank you, guys.
I gotta
Thank you,
follow up
Albert.
with them.
Brings us to 5D, I believe, here, the executive
5D.
director. I'm sorry?
Yes, 5D.
5D. D as in dog, right?
Correct.
Executive Director Performance Review. Do we have those all turned in now?
No,
We do, but
at the end.
We're going to
Well,
vote
it's
on
right
it
now.
We're gonna vote. Okay.
Aaron just informed me. I think he
Can,
wants.
can we wait till this audit is done?
It is done.
No, the senator audit. The city audit's one thing, but
Why?
the state audit.
Why? What's that got to do with our review of Laura?
It doesn't change anything. It gets the results back before we move forward.
But the audit won't change the review of Laura's work. This is just an executive review.
Then I'll
not
stay
a
out of
DD.
it. Then I'll abstain from it. Then whatever the word is, because you still get a quorum. I would just rather wait till the audit's conducted.
My only, I guess, comment about that is I think it's a different audit that's happening, and I think it's also a process. I think when they came in and audited the CRA many years ago and so forth, it went on for about 18 months or something like that, and I don't think it's fair to someone that's running the operation for us here to sit there and wait 18 months, hang it out, waiting to see, and this is on past performance and so forth. So I would like to see it continue forward. I don't have any interest in seeing it postponed to wait 18 months or whatever the state's going to take, so forth, to get their audit done.
The only thing I'm asking is, because I had back-to-back meetings and I had to prepare for a meeting this morning, can we do it toward the end and I'll just step aside, make sure that you have the paperwork, and then we can vote it at the end?
So we'll, I guess, postpone this to further down the agenda, if that's okay?
Sure. Yeah, that's
Okay,
all I'm
fine.
asking, and I'll just step out for a
make a
few minutes
motion.
and then
Sure.
come
It
back in.
takes, yeah, can we have a motion to postpone 5D
Just
to
move it.
Need this?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. But I can't
to
leave yet.
6EE, I guess, or 6F?
6F.
Think so.
Fine with me.
And it only 7 items, so it only takes you a few minutes or something. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. We'll move that down to 6F. So that brings us to old business, the amendment number 4 to ILA. This is just procedure based on what took place at the city commission meeting, just breaking up, which to me it's a non-issue. I'd look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve amendment number 4 to the ILA, the Management and Operations
Second.
OSS.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay, downtown beautification plan and workshop. Jewel.
Okay, Laura and I are gonna chat a little about this. I printed a ton of stuff, which I think I'm gonna try and have a document or two for you guys for our next meeting. We'll also, in the interim, have that first vision committee meeting, I think on the 22nd, you said.
Yes, so this specific item on the agenda is to kind of tee up our workshop, our joint workshop with the City Commission and the DDA Board of Directors and team to discuss 2 items. One being first the beautification plan for Atlantic Avenue and the downtown. So that's obviously been a strong focus and is a big, very important focus for our organization. And recently with Jewel Glardy coming on the board, just bringing that to a higher level. And if you want to go to the next slide, Joel, I put a little list of things that we've been talking about over the past years. Yeah, I know you've got lots of. This is a very
I even
short,
have our
high
entire
level
master plan from
Of course.
2002.
Right, exactly. So this, and Jewel and I'll meet. We haven't had a chance to, but we will meet before this meeting, in the 22nd, and provide. And actually, the city manager and Jeff Orris and I met on last Monday, to kind of talk through what the plan is for this workshop. But I think this is going to be a very important time with the City Commission to discuss Atlantic Avenue, the importance of it, its future as a street. I know both the Beach Properties Owners Association, Palm Trail Association, all of our downtown residents. The streetscape is very important for our city and its future, and it's always been something. And as we look forward, what is that plan? So I think getting this as a first stop with both of you as two leader organizations in the city to make some decisions going forward is really important. So
I think one of the things that, I was sort of investigating is the last time the city had any kind of aesthetic guidelines, it was, I think it started in like the 70s or the 80s, and then it kind of was revisited in the 90s. And then it looks like the last time the commission adopted something, it was in 2002, which is, it's a long time ago.
The downtown master plan?
Yeah. And so, and it shows the visuals, it shows sort of the guidelines of what it is. And I think that instead of us being forward thinking and sort of, looking into it and sort of recreating, which is what we need to do, we've sort of been like trying to stretch the old to accommodate the new. And the reality is Delray's changed so much in the last 25 years. One of the things that, I'm just going to go here. Downtown Delray Beach has evolved significantly over the past 15 to 25 years, and while its core planning framework has served it well, the aesthetic language and illustrative guidance no longer really fully reflects the current reality, intensity, or sophistication of the downtown environment, of the people coming, of the restaurants and the price points and the shops and so forth and so on, and the way that we want to elevate that area between Swinton and east of 95, and how we want to see sort of the whole thing thriving, and how we're now starting to branch off on side streets and go in different directions, and how we're really building up the city. I think rather than us following these sort of not antiquated but older guidelines, we need to look at where we are today and sort of make these adjustments, keep what's been fantastic and really, really served us well, and then make new enhancements that are catering to sort of the new Delray and where it is without losing its charm, whilst making sure that we're inclusive, whilst making sure that we celebrate the diversity and everyone that comes, but also just sort of pay homage to what we've naturally evolved into, and then improve our signage. And Laura and I were talking about the fact that in so many instances we're sort of running to repair things that are breaking down, as opposed to being forward thinking and creating new things that we can implement. Jeff, you want to come up here and give some of your thought? I know we're going to have a meeting about it, but I'd love to just hear if you think that we're sort of on the right track with what we're talking about.
Well, certainly we're talking about a plan that's older. But of course, the most important thing is in working with the city is making sure the Parks and Recreation Department is a part of the effort, and that they understand what your needs are and you understand what theirs are and what they're trying to accomplish in what they're doing in the parks on a daily basis. Pretty much all I really can say to that is just making sure that if this is important to you and you want to move forward, you work very closely with the Parks and Recreation Department.
Okay.
Well, I feel like you mentioned, maybe this was last year or something, that there is some sort of goal to kind of redo Atlantic Avenue, but it's a $10 million project that's going to take a long time. I mean, like, it's...
So what I probably told you is that's what would happen if we're in a position where we're trying to fix everything on Atlantic. We're talking about millions of dollars, and we're talking about very invasive work.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's in the works right now. It was, I said it through some of our walkabouts with various members of the board, as well as saying things in here, which was that if we are to go in there and make everything pristine,
Definitely.
Guys,
Sorry.
thank you.
I apologize.
Sorry, Jeff.
if we were to go and try to make everything pristine, it would require a significant amount of work. And I had given you my opinion at that time. We are not at that point yet where we're ready to do all that kind of work.
I gotta say, for my side of the Atlantic Avenue, between the flowers, the sidewalks, and everything, it's been more maintained. If you can see them on the weekends cleaning up, it's a lot better walkway now than it used to be, months ago. So on that end, with the flowers and everything, I think whatever you're doing now is going in the right direction as far as cleanliness and upkeep. So I gotta say, you guys are doing a good job on that part.
Thank you.
Aaron, do you remember the walk you and I took along Atlantic Avenue last year?
Yeah.
The smell of urine and the flower beds. Has that improved on my side of the water?
The flower beds have.
Okay. So the city's doing stuff for the flower beds. I know that you guys are doing a lot more rodent control than you used to. But ultimately, there's no real beautification plan that's been updated by the city, by Parks and Rec?
Well, maybe that we can make a recommendation
Right.
here. It's 2035 is coming up, right? So that I'm sure this is one of the things we can. Well, they're having their right the visioning for 2035 or whatever else,
Right.
so forth, and we could make a recommendation that they also look into this and so forth. And it certainly would be a lot nicer if we had everything east of 95 looking like it does more in the downtown and certainly
Well, I
further
think
downtown.
I think that is important, and just I was up there with you on Friday. The flowers do look completely different on the east than they do on the west. This is on West Atlantic, and on the east, and your intersection on A1A, it doesn't look that way. So I was a little concerned that there was a little bit of a difference, and so but there's also I think there's room for us to get improvement. We've had numerous conversations over the years about, the flowers, adding flowers, the streetscapes, the brick pavers need to be replaced, the rubber around the oak trees are roots. I mean, there's a lot of things to really plan for, the decorative light poles, enhancing those, and what's the plan with that. So I mean, it comes down to and amenities. We've enhanced the garbage cans in certain places, but not all places. So, is it Atlantic Avenue? There's a short term is what we're doing now. I think the long term is really for the next 50 years. We're 50 years old now as the streetscape as it is right now. So, what does it look like in the future? And I do know that there's some, especially on the beach side, the traffic calming is important. Coming over the bridge, looking at Atlantic Avenue, what does that look like, and how can it be better? So, and same when you're coming off 95, making sure that when you're coming off 95 into the downtown, you're in a different place. The medians in the intersections, how do they maintain? What's the future of those plants look like? How can it be better? So, I think that's how we start this conversation with the city commission, and it's not just a one and done conversation.
No, definitely
for
not.
sure.
I think one of the things that, to your point, it's massive amounts of money and extremely intrusive. And so, one of the things that I think is a good idea is to obviously work incredibly close to the city, give our thoughts, really do our homework, and try to be very specific about realistic things, and then also have it maybe be part of a big, long plan that's implemented in little baby stages that are tangible, not so intrusive, small changes that go in the right direction. What are the big, sort of elephants in the living room that we're all, sort of like, oh God, I wish that would, and then one at a time, just kind of, tackle them as a giant team, with the same goal, which really we all have the same goal, which is we want Delray to continue to thrive and be beautiful and to attract people, locals, foreigners, tourists from neighboring towns and so forth and so on, that where they feel safe, where they feel it's clean, they see the integrity in the town, they feel that our response to the growth that we've had is appropriate to the growth that we've had, and it all kind of is cohesive. I think a lot of the new buildings that have gone up, the new Sunday Village and all of those things, I think they're beautiful. I think they've done a great job, and I think if there's ways that we can create small enhancements that kind of travel in that direction as far as exterior lighting and so forth and so on, and the planters and the flowers and all of those things sort of work toward going in that sort of modern tropical coastal direction where it's charming and it's got a lot of personality, but it's also very upscale, it's very clean, it's very pretty, it's very safe, it's beautifully lit. It creates not only wonderful daytime experiences, but really, really wonderful ambiance in the evening. I think then we're going in a great direction, and I personally am super excited to be part of it and to give whatever contribution I can.
You mentioned Parks and Rec. Is clean and safe under Parks and Rec too?
No, I was actually going to.
That's what I was
follow
wondering.
up a little because
Okay.
Parks and Rec essentially has the medians on the roadways, and clean and safe in the downtown areas. Most everything else.
Okay.
So, we the one thing I would warn you about is that all of those little things also impact the big things. So
Right.
sometimes something that seems really small actually has a much bigger impact. So as you have your conversation with the commission, just keep an open mind as to what things are related to one another, as well
The
as,
domino
of
effect.
course, we always, since the early 2000s, the one thing cities always watch out is, okay, whatever we put in, we have to remember that we have to maintain it, and that's not free. So what is it going to take to maintain? Is it labor intensive? Is it dollar intensive? So we try to give the biggest bang for the buck that we can get, and understanding those dollars have to come from somewhere, and those people have to come from somewhere. So I would ask you to just keep those things in mind as you have a conversation.
Okay. One of the, I'm not prepared to talk about it today, but one of the things that I also looked at, I made a little sort of, just a little note statement is about, somebody mentioned, I'm not sure which one of you talked about some of the empty spots. Was it you, Aaron? And some of the empty. And I know that we talked about it, and you had said, a lot of those are getting rented out. They're just waiting for their. But I don't know about all of them. But one of the things that I just wanted to say is, as part of the. Wait. Let me get to. Give me 1 second. Okay, as part of, I'm sure, the vision board's work, there'll be some priorities: maintaining a healthy and intentional business mix, addressing long-term vacant storefronts. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and how that erodes momentum. And activating downtown with temporary uses that support quality and entrepreneurship. These aren't exclusionary ideas. They're proven tools used by successful downtowns to protect investment, strengthen walkability, and ensure our streets reflect the level of care the community expects. And if downtowns don't manage the use concentration, deal with the vacancies head on, and curate the interim activity, these temporary little pop-ups that we can put in these places, they slide quietly, not dramatically, and by the time people feel it, it's already really expensive to try to fix it. So that's one of the things that I had noticed walking around is I don't know which are really empty. Like I look at Buddha Sky Bar and it's empty for years and years and years and years and years. But other things like that versus things that are just temporary. And there's somebody that's already rented, they're just waiting to get in the door, and then maybe they're waiting for their CO. So I don't know enough about it to make a comment, but these are things I'm thinking about.
Well, some of the things I think that the cities had been opposed to having people put things in the windows and things like that that's not related to an actual business that's there or whatever else. I know previously in Boynton and some other cities and so forth, if it was something that was promoting the downtown or the city or whatever else, be it the tennis center, the Davis Cup, whatever else,
Or
maybe
art.
there's a way to get something in those windows that would at least scream that something's going on, if maybe not in that particular space at that particular moment, but at least talk about what's happening here in the downtown and so forth. I don't know what the policies are on stuff like that, but
We did a pilot program. Well, we did a program during COVID to
Okay.
cover. It was a window covering with just Delray logo. It was our Love Delray brand, and we did that on several empty storefronts around town. And it worked temporarily, so it could be something. It was a temporary program, as most programs were during COVID.
I have a small suggestion that might take it a tiny step further, maybe not a tiny step further, a little bit further. Is we're in the know. The DDA is in the know. The city's in the know. Everybody's in the know. That's sort of in this room about available places that may need something temporary. And instead of it being just maybe artwork or some kind of display or something that's just prettier to look at than an empty storefront, maybe we can facilitate partnerships. Like, we know this place is empty, and we can gather a list of people that are looking to do a temporary pop-up, and they might not know. They might not know who to talk to, or so maybe there's something where we can be a facilitator of that. Like, I could think of probably 10 people that I know just in my life that, if they thought it was feasible, probably would say, okay, I'd love.
Yeah, that's a whole different program. So versus, I know it adds to the vacancy, it's also a lot more intensive than, and we've tried to do those. This comes down to the individual, and I know Brian can speak to that just based on some of the conversations we've had.
Yeah, two quick things. One, as part of your beautification board, you work with the DDA, but we should have a tally of the vacant
do.
stores.
I
and
have a
can
list.
sit with you and go over them. I'm pretty familiar with most of them.
Okay.
And then you'll know everything. And then it'll be more clear on what we can and can't do. And then, I'm all for these, pop-up temporary uses, but unfortunately, code-wise, not so easy to do in the city. You're like, oh, we'll just pop them in retailer for a couple months. It'll be great. We'll live. It doesn't really work like
Better
that.
have a 6
There's a
month
reason
runway
why,
before you get there.
that's 6 months for the pop-up, and there's a reason why if you look at multiple businesses that have just opened, it's a 2-year runway. Generally, from like start to finish, from Geronimo, Tropical Barbecue, Rock Hula.
Right.
It's 2-year runway. So again, a lot of these
Okay.
vacant things you're seeing the last 2 years, there's a lot of things now opening.
Yep.
But I'm sure a lot of landlords would love to do, pop-up stuff. But it just, you need a life safety plan, so they need to spend money with the architect.
Right.
You need to get a BTR. You need to have the insurance. And when you start checking all these boxes, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, why am I going to go through all that to do a pop-up?
Right.
It's pretty
I understand.
difficult. I'm just, because
Good
I want to
point.
come up, and believe me, the landlords don't want the spaces to be vacant either. And we've talked about some of the sign programs in the windows, and we can revisit that. But honestly,
This is
we
great
can knock
discussion.
out. Our downtown's not that big. We can go look at all the vacant spaces.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
probably
it's very
less
low.
than you really think it is when we look at it. You're like, oh, there's, not that many. So there's a handful.
Okay.
There are some.
I'd love that.
We look
I'll
forward to
share- I can share
continuing
that with you.
the conversation on this, and thank you, Jeff, and we certainly will work
Thank
with the
you.
city and anybody and everybody, and we will take into consideration that it's cost to maintain it too. It's not just popping it in and leaving it there, so.
Right. So the second part of that discussion on the 22nd, so it's a 2-part agenda. One is around beautification, and the other part is around Old School Square management and the short and the long-term plan for us to
Guys,
now have a discussion together with the city commission and the DDA board around Old School Square's future. So that will be part of the second half of the workshop meeting.
And I'm
So-
hopeful, Jeff, that the city's taking it serious, that we're ready to hand it off and so forth. It's, don't want to just find out that, oh, well, we really didn't mean it, whatever else, so forth, so.
I think we recognize that this arrangement was always supposed to be somewhat temporary. And we all do need to come up with what is the long-term plan.
Right.
What type of organization would you look for to run it? How would that happen? How do we invite them here? The last time we did this before you all took it over, there was a lot of upheaval about it. Nobody really wanted to jump into the middle of that. So how do we get the outside world to understand that we're ready for it?
Right. So I think it'd be good for all of us, and I think that's part of the conversation, or that final group, you all and the city having the conversation together, as well as the team. We'll prepare a kind of thought starter, maybe a little bit of history overview, slide presentation for everybody to review, and then the discussion. So I'm working on that now to get to the city for next week's meeting. So the big thing is that everyone's available and present to be there on March 22nd. March, sorry. January 22nd at 3 o'clock at the library, correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I think that's the big thing.
One last thing as a small caveat, and just put this in your hat and take it with you, and maybe you put it in your pocket after you take it out of your hat. If the city were to find the right kind of money, it would also probably help to not have to go and find some outsider. It's the right kind of money to make sure that it could run properly and not with. That's why I tell you, put it in your hat and then maybe put it in your pocket later. Hold on to it. But at its current state, you know how bad it is and how hard it is, and someone's essentially doing 3 jobs for the price of 1. So if that money were to ever manifest itself and just fall out of the sky as some golden parachute, which it probably wouldn't, that would probably make everyone a lot happier, because then you would be able to understand that the people running your Old School Square understand the history and the culture and whatever it really needs to be, as opposed to try to bring in someone and educate them and get them up to speed. It's kind of like you want it protected, so, but it can't be as it is.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Thank
I think
you.
we're done with that. On to
Thanks, Jeff.
6C. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Go on.
Oh, no, you can move on. Sorry.
It's fine. We did fine. Next. All right, so we're on to 6C.
Yeah, 6C.
Right. So on here, so this is our team's overview. We have some big news to share. As the team's been working on lots over the past month and into plans for this year, as well as business development updates, just some high level, and I'll follow up with some lists for you all. Our team, in order to bring forward this beautiful new website, has done a yeoman's job of pulling all the business data, property data, open, close information for our all of our existing businesses in our downtown that are in the DDA district. So with the help of Mavis, Shelley, Liliana, Emily, everyone just coming together, pulling all of the data, importing it into our block leader list that's being shared with our block leaders, so outloading that, and keeping up with it, because even if we did it and completed it a month ago, today it's changed. So it is an ongoing evolution, but the business, just to report to you all, we have opened up close to almost 65 or 70 new businesses this year. Some are still here, some have left, unfortunately. But it's really important for us to remember our job is to keep people in business. So that is really important for us. We don't like the turnover. We don't want businesses to invest thousands and thousands of dollars, sometimes way more than that, and then turn around and close, which we unfortunately had that happen over the holiday. So it's really critical for us to continue to keep that data, so that at a glance we can give you those the business entities that are here and keep you up to speed on our low vacancy rate and keep the perceptions real. So just I want to turn over to the team and congratulate Suzanne for her leadership, as well as all of the team on bringing this website to life. So, Suzanne?
I feel like I birthed a baby. On New Year's Eve, by the way, we pushed the red button on New Year's Eve. I was like, we are not going into 2026 with this hanging over our heads. So yeah, it went live on December 31st, 2025, and we're really, really excited, not only from the visual perspective, because it is beautiful, but there are so many things that went into this website and that make up this website that truly are an economic development tool for our downtown. We ran the numbers based off of our analytics and some numbers from Visit Florida, Destinations International, the Palm Beaches, and we determined that the estimated economic impact of this website is about $15.5 million every year for our downtown. So it is a very, very big economic development tool for our downtown.
So just going to interrupt real quick, because in the back of your packet that everyone received in the FYI, there was an overview sheet that hopefully everybody saw with a lot of that information. So, sorry, go ahead.
So what I'm going to do first is just going to run through the new features, the key features of this new website, and then I'm going to show you live what those features look like. The biggest thing is this is built on mapping software. This software was developed by City Light. Geocentric is the company that developed the City Light software that is all a mapping technology. So every shop, every restaurant, every art gallery is mapped for easy discovery, and I'll show you how that works on the website. Parking and nearby amenities. Obviously, parking is a huge thing for downtown. So what this new website does is it highlights nearby parking, dining, shopping for each location. So when you see a location, you can instantly see where the nearest place to park is. Interactive guides. These are a very big tool for our economic development, because it tells people where to go, It has them staying in downtown longer. It allows them to spend more money when they're in downtown, and I'll show you how those interactive guides work. They're basically blogs on steroids, I'll call them. Our signature events, like our First Friday Art Walk, they all have really cool technology behind them that will allow you to walk through those events in a way that you haven't been able to before. For instance, First Friday Art Walk, which before we were having to print out maps and give them to every location, now it's all digital. You can build your First Friday Art Walk itinerary on this website and use the map right on your phone and take you to all the places that you've chosen to go to on your First Friday Art Walk. There's a new happy hour page experience where you see specials by the day. You go to Monday and you see all the happy hours happening in downtown on Monday. Curated experiences, everything is put into an experience, whether it's shopping, dining, art and culture, wellness, events, that encourages people to explore and stay longer. Our integrated signature attractions, our beach, our festivals, our historic landmarks, they're all connected to our local businesses and experiences. So, for instance, when you go and say you want to do an event, it automatically links and maps to your business if you have an event at your business, and it will take you directly to your business. And then the biggest part for our team is efficiencies. The businesses and organizations can now fill out forms to upload their business listings, their happy hours, their events. So that's not all stuff that we're creating on our own. They're creating it, we're just approving it on our end, and then it automatically populates onto the website. Okay, I'm going to go back to this in just a minute, but first, to just give me a minute while I show you kind of how this works on the actual website. Okay. All right, so here's the home page. It's just a beautiful video that we put together that shows all the fun things happening in downtown. And then you have kind of the news that goes through all the different news links and how often downtown Delray is mentioned in the news. Before, our website did not have our events on the homepage, which our events are one of our #1 pages on our website. So we put some of our featured events right there on the homepage. Then as you go down on the page, the homepage, it takes you through all the different experiences. And then right here is this. We did have this on our last page, on our last website. This allows you to click a button on any business that we have in the downtown directory, and this will show you all of the new businesses now open in downtown. Now I'm going to go to one of our business directories. So once you get to this experience page, you can go down and shop, dine, happy hour. So for instance, if you go to shop, all right, this will take you first of all to, and this is like our little pop-up to, hey, sign up for our email newsletter. It will take you to these blogs or guides like I was talking about, and then it takes you to all the business listings, and they're all mapped. So I'll just click on A Little Wild. This is Amanda Perna's shop in Pineapple Grove, and you can see it's just a brief, it shows all their social media, and this is all information that businesses will need to give us. We've put in a lot of this, but we need businesses to go in and they'll fill out the form and tell us, hey, we want to change this, we want to change that. And as you can see, A Little Wild is in mapped here, and then you go down and it automatically tells you where the closest place to eat, shop, and park, and it will map that up for you. So you can see, Old School Square Garage, you can see how much it's going to cost you, you can see where it is on the map, and so it's a very interactive experience. I do want to talk a little bit about these guides, these interactive guides that I told you about. So at the top of each experience page, we've written some of these guides. For instance, Best Burgers in downtown Delray. This is a survey we sent out about 6 months ago. We asked people to rank the #1 burgers in the city or in the downtown. And The Office is the unmistakable champion. But what this does is it then takes you through each of these locations and it maps them on, so you can go to each of these places and map through this special like mapping feature. And that's what makes it really special, because it allows people to see these things not only in real time, but also be able to go to these places, and you can follow along on your phone. it allows you to, once again, stay longer in downtown and spend more money. Happy hour page. This was a page that was probably one of the most popular pages on our website, is our happy hour page. And once again, I need them to tell them to, once I click out of that, they gotta make that go away. That's annoying.
Not till you sign up. Don't let them off.
So this is
like once every 2 minutes.
Right. So this is the happy hour page, and as you can see, you can click by day, and it will tell you all the different happy hours happening in downtown. And so this is where you can go all day today to get happy hour drinks and specials. And you can go, like I said, to the different days, and it'll tell you the different happy hours for that day. So it's really cool. We're really proud of the happy hour page. Yeah.
Probably whatever. How do you determine what's placed where?
So happy hour is going to, so they automatically change every single day. Every 24 hours, the listings will, the locations will randomly reorder. And we did that to be fair.
So that's cool. That's great. The next question is, can the DDA sell placement of this to the businesses?
Yes. So that is a strategy we're working on right now, that we would look at potentially a partnership moving forward for specifically those blogs and those guides that we're talking about, right? Because that's really kind of an added bonus to being, on the website. That's not something we had before. And so we are looking at, maybe adding that as added value to some of our partnerships.
Okay. I hate to always sound like I'm the guy trying to figure out how to make the DDA money, but
Bring it on.
it's essentially like you get first place. Scroll down the other way. So whoever it is, you pay to be on that first row or second row, and then everybody else is rotating. I mean, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we do that for happy hour, but definitely for the blogs. So the blogs, as you can see, are at the top of every one of these experience pages, right? And so all of these blogs we've written, and they have different, different locations. Right. Yeah, like Sandaways in this one, Go in the Ocean, Putting Around, Silver Ball, and so these can be partnerships, paid partnerships.
I have a quick question for you, personal related. I'm not a restaurant or a store at this moment in time. A design firm. So tons of people come to Delray. They move to the area. They're looking for services like ours. Can we buy a presence on the site?
You are under the Live and Work section.
Oh, okay.
So Live and Work here is a section all to itself, right? And the Live in Downtown. There's Cole. Look.
Working in downtown.
And part of under that Live and Work is downtown services, and that's where all of our downtown services. Cole's got a lot of.
That's why I signed up for the
So this is, we broke it down into different categories, and then we can probably. Yeah, and I don't know, Jules. These we have to get people to sign up. I don't know if you're listed under here yet. Yeah, there you are.
We are. Okay.
Yeah, so we just need you to fit, because this is just the this is the placeholder.
We'll give you the
so we
correct
need
stuff.
a
But
beautiful
thank you for
photo.
including
Yep. So
these categories.
so we were really intentional about what do people do when they're going on this website? Who is it? And if you're living and working here, you're going to want those downtown services. That's not necessarily someone who's coming here for
Brian's
vacation,
jealous.
right?
He's really jealous right now.
Don't worry. The DDA board, you guys are up here, but we don't have your pictures up yet. I'm waiting till everyone gets their picture taken today, and then your pictures will be going up. What's that?
We're taking pictures today?
No, you don't have to retake the pictures. Just we have a few that haven't taken their pictures yet. Okay, First Friday Art Walk. This was the itinerary that I told you about. I'll show you how this works. Basically, you go through here and you just heart whatever you want to and then it will give you a code. And I don't know why this is popping up here. That's not right. But it basically, you click on this and it will take you to your planner that will allow you. Something's wrong with that page, clearly.
I think you clicked the too soon.
Oh, there we go. And then it will take you through, and it'll map your locations where you're going, so you can follow along on your phone about your First Friday Art Walk itinerary locations. This is a big deal. This has been a heavy lift for Liliana every month. She puts together this map. She has to distribute it to all the First Friday Art Walk itinerary people, and so now it's all digital. Now it's all stuff we can do on the front end, and then people create it and follow along on their phone.
Really looks great.
Yeah, this is.
I love
this
GIS
is
mapping
really awesome.
stuff, you know that.
Yeah, parking page, it puts all the parking lots out. It talks about everything is very updated on here. The amounts you'll pay for each parking lot, what's free, what's not free, and then this goes those submit a downtown Delray event, submit a business. These are all things that you can get to right on the website, and so this allows our community to go in when private organizations, if they have an event in downtown, they can go and fill this out. So we're not doing all that on our end.
How's the traffic been?
Okay, on that note, the traffic's been great. We haven't gotten a full month yet, so I'll have to tell you next month as far as that. But I do want to show you just really quickly.
I think the time on the site's probably increased quite significantly.
Yeah, I would guess so. We haven't looked at that quite yet, but we did do a comparison. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lighthouse, but Lighthouse is Google's free tool that they do to rank websites. And it allows you to go in, and it's a free tool, and see, how your website is doing. And it really does, show you, give your website a score. And as you can see, there's 4 buckets that they have: performance, accessibility, best practices, and SEO. Performance is how quickly your website loads. We're at a 98, which is extremely high. Accessibility is how accessible you are to the disabled. This was a very important piece for us, that we made sure that our website was accessible. We had to change some of the colors and some of the fonts to make sure that everything was very clear and accessible, and so we got a 100 score on that. Best practices is kind of a wishy-washy thing. Basically, it goes down significantly the minute you put ad tracking on your website, and we have to do that because we are running a ton of digital ads, and we want to be able to track who is going to our website, who's getting there, and so that score goes down. You will very rarely see a higher score than that. And then SEO, we're at 100. And these are just compared to some of the other websites like the Palm Beaches, Downtown West Palm, the city's website. And as you can see, we're doing really well as far as all of those important measurements. Any questions about the new website?
Looks fantastic.
It's really mobile friendly.
It's just DDA. We are moving now because we have the new brand now for Old School Square. Our next move is to build the permanent website for Old School Square. Right now we've been on a temporary Squarespace, and we built it ourselves. So we are moving down that road now to build the permanent website for Old School Square.
The big
It's really
donate
mobile
button.
friendly.
It is extremely mobile friendly, and I always say, when you make a change or you do something, make sure you go onto your cell phone and see how it looks, because that is the most important, because
Right.
95% of people are looking on their cell phone.
Use your microphone. Sorry.
Is it the website we were just looking at before? Was that just for the businesses in the DDA area?
Yes, and that's what Laura was talking about, with that Mavis and Shelley went and did an entire walk around and found
floor.
all the different businesses. They put together a
floor,
huge
third floor.
spreadsheet. The data that went into making sure that everything we put into this new website was accurate and up to date. Obviously, it's already changed because things change constantly, but that was a huge piece of building this website, is making sure that all of our businesses that are listed in here are there, they're up and running, or they're about to be up and running. And so yes, the business directory is all downtown businesses.
Yes, sir.
How much time is going to be allocated to continue building the Old School Square website? Like, how much of your bandwidth is now going to be allocated to?
So we're
Given the discussion in a couple weeks or next week.
we can come back to. I think we have to
Yeah,
get.
I mean,
we've done a lot of work already.
It's already paid. Yeah,
we've already done a lot of work.
we went halfway down the path and then stopped.
But
And
we just,
so-
it's just it's done, it's ready. It's not.
My only thing was
Our cost has already been allocated.
Yeah,
for
it's
that,
already
so-
been,
All right,
it's already
there you
been
go.
Yeah.
paid for.
I mean, we've got the brand done. It's not.
Yeah.
It needs to be done because we're on a, you know, what is it? WordPress, like small site now. So for
Squarespace,
us,
yeah.
the intent for this, and just for your clarification, because you're relatively new, but at the same time, the intent is to pass on, not pass on the marketing, pass on the website. You know, that was the point because we had to start from scratch. So the intent is to
and
turn
or
it over.
maintain some of the digital assets and things. Again, my
We'll
part
bring that information
that
to
I've
the
always
meeting.
said, even with just to mention with this handoff and everything we're doing and finishing up the old school square real page, is that when the DDA took over Old School Square, it was a dark space. It didn't have a website. The people didn't know where to go, what art was happening. We had nothing. So our staff has done an incredible job, like creating Old School Square again, literally from nothing. You know, it had the ambiance, it had this beautiful piece of real estate, but as far as anything you see digitally, any marketing you see, any ads, you know, we've created all that, and I think we've done a great job. We have an awesome team, and it's just something that I do think is an asset that belongs to the city, but that we can continue to help maintain, even if another group comes in or the city comes and starts to run Old School Square. I think that we are really great stewards of some of these digital assets. We've shown what we've done with our website, what we're doing, how we're executing, and it's just something, again, our board can keep this in their minds while we have the discussion. There's some parts that I think we should continue to be the stewards of and work with, and you can give other people access and make it administrators, but the one thing I don't want to see happen again, and as you know, you were alluding to, is like we're building this up and we're passing it on. We want to see it. We don't want to see it miss a step, right? We just want to continue it
Momentum.
forward. So this is something we can help because we're so strong on it. If we get another partner to help come and fund the bands and produce that stuff and come up with the real money to run the place, you know?
And the
Because-
historical knowledge is the other piece of it.
Exactly.
I mean, that doesn't,
So-
if you bring a whole new crew in and.
Yeah, so I think we're always going to be a part of it, and I always do want to be a part of it. We can't be the ones, you know, city funding going down and us having to execute at a certain level.
Open the gates at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Laura
Exactly.
Simon.
So, great. This looks awesome. Continue on. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the data and has been a huge, has been a very important part of what we've been focusing on over the last, I would say, year and a half, Laura.
No, I mean, data itself has been huge for our organization to make decisions. So,
But really, like, putting some money behind platforms that really do help us, right? And so we have, Laura decided just recently that we were switching to a new data platform instead of Placer. We
Yeah.
had Placer AI.
Here, I'll take it, Suze, if you
Okay,
want. That's
go
fine.
ahead.
Good. So just so, and thank you. So Placer AI, we learned about Placer at International Downtown Association a couple of years ago, maybe 3. Signed up with the platform, which has been really significant on giving us foot traffic, accurate and real-time foot traffic data front to the downtown. Recently, last year at the IDA conference, met Datafy, who is a new platform. They actually are a spinoff of the Placer. Some of the staff that were working for Placer started this new company called Datafy, which tells us the spending of the visitor, which is
huge.
Huge. So it's because those are things that Placer can't tell you unless you're at a different level, which is way more expensive. So at the same level that we were currently with Placer, we can now not only get the foot traffic, but get the spending of the visitor, which to that point shares with us what the impact, obviously the economic impact is of the visitor traffic. So if we have 4.5 million people coming to downtown over an annual basis, what's their financial impact. And also the dashboard that they provide to you with the customer support and the data that will be given to you on a monthly basis is significant. So we wanted to, it's an annual program, an annual membership or subscription with them. So we wanted to turn into, and we can go past we can go back as far as 2021 and get data. So from the past to compare. So we will be able to go right in and once the platform's set up and look at the spend and see annual aggregately over the years, what if that's changed in the visitor traffic. So wanted to take on this new platform to really, especially with the website and what we're investing in there, to see really to provide us with much better data for both us as an organization to help us guide as well as our businesses and what we bring back to the property owners and the business owners.
We can also run digital marketing directly through Datafy because it has these specific, very specific audiences. So we can, based on spending data, then target, these audiences for our digital marketing. And we can see if someone got the ad and spent money based on that ad, which is just really, that's really what you want to see. Like, how is this working? Is it working for our businesses? Is it working for our downtown? And so I think this is going to be a much better platform for what we do.
Right. Good.
Okay, breaking news. 37 million impressions in 1 month. Okay, can we all give a round of applause to Emily Oliveira? Yeah, so this is big. I mean, you all know that we were like really excited when we got more than 1 million impressions in 1 month, but this was 37 million impressions. I'm pretty sure it was the Christmas tree. I just looked at the numbers on that. We are up to 50 million views on that one video. 50 million views. It's incredible. So not only did that increase our views, obviously, and our impressions for that month, we went up in followers. We went from like 162,000 followers across our social channels to 180,000 followers. We hit that special 70K number right before the clock hit 2026. Emily, that was Emily's goal. Please, let's hit 70K, and we did on Instagram. So it just gives us momentum. It allows us to create more interactive and focused content, and really just looking at like it doesn't have to be overly produced. It could just be a video of a Christmas tree being lit in downtown Delray, or that second video was just me taking a video of people walking on Atlantic Avenue on the most gorgeous,
all over my
the most gorgeous day, and it literally has taken off. So we just are really being able to hone in on what content is connecting with people, what's getting the most engagement, what's giving us more impressions, and that just allows us to once again, show off our downtown and drive traffic into our businesses, get the cash registers ringing. So that is really the goal. So once again, our marketing highlights were just our social media growth from last month. Our website traffic is remaining strong. This is from the month of December, so this is not the new website, but we were up 43% on page views in the month of December. And then this is just a look at all of those numbers. The website top pages is very interesting. If you look, the tree lighting was the #1 page that was visited, and then events, and then New Year's Eve. So even though we didn't have a New Year's Eve page, they were looking at old pages on our website. And so it just goes to show you that we were getting calls like crazy about New Year's Eve and people searching on our website for New Year's Eve. Our email blasts are staying steady. We sent out almost 130,000 emails last month. And once again, those are a look at our social media numbers. Our engagements were at, a number that we don't normally see either.
Suzanne?
Yeah.
How does that 43% open rate compare to generally in the industry?
I think it's very good. I mean, I don't.
10 is great.
Yeah. I mean, you see most people get like 15%.
Direct mail used to be 2% was good. So
yeah, it's really good. I mean, we've been, we are lucky in that people, when they sign up for our emails, they actually want them, and so that is a good thing. And we're not spamming people. We send out one weekend roundup and sometimes one additional email a week, but we're not sending people an email every single day, which can get annoying. The Shop Small Holiday Rewards Pass. This was our rewards pass that we did over the holidays. We had 27 retailers sign up. These are the final numbers. We had 617 signups and 398 people checked in. So those were numbers of people that actually went to the stores based off of this marketing campaign. All right, the Delray Beach Open. We are doing a downtown takeover. So we have partnered with the Delray Beach Open to place these giant tennis balls throughout downtown. Those are going to be going up, first week of February, Laura? Yes. So first week of February, we're going to have about 4 of them placed throughout the downtown. And then we've also launched the first ever Delray Beach Open window decor contest, which we're also partnering with DBO to come up with this so that we really can make the tennis tournament extend through the entire downtown from the interstate to the beach. And so we're really asking our businesses to think of a really cool, Delray tennis theme. And this is a picture from the Wimbledon Village, which is kind of where we got this idea. The Wimbledon Village in London, it's a whole takeover of the storefront. So we wanted to start that this year and continue that through every year, really extending the tennis tournament throughout our downtown.
Right. The contest also, there's cash prizes and they'll be rewarded on the courts during the tournament. So
yeah, they get
$500.
$500 and center court.
Right, and center court from the Delray Beach Open. That's where their awards coming from.
All right, the Delray Beach Downtown Development Authority team has been busy going to all of our new openings and ribbon cuttings and sneak peeks, and Tropical Smokehouse is now open. I saw Brian there Saturday. Great. And Barcelona Wine Bar opening in a couple of weeks. Geronimo Tequila Bar and Southwest Grill at the former Cabana El Rey. They're opening in a couple of weeks. So a lot. Barcelona Wine Bars in Sunday Village, but a lot of new openings and things happening along our downtown.
Just want to say you guys are awesome. Your videos of these places opening and your sneak peeks, whether it was Amar, whether it was the Tropical, whether it was the Barcelona, I mean, they're awesome and they get viewed. Because when I tell people, like, hey, this place is opening, they're like, oh, yeah, I saw the video. Like, seriously, like, everyone hey, this place is going to, oh, yeah, I saw the video. Like, they know the hours before, like, I could tell them, 11:30 to 3:30 only. They're like, oh, yeah, I know, I saw it. So you're really, and again, I think it does so much for those businesses. Like, it's unbelievable. Because I know you were there, too. It was pretty busy with the art fair and everything else. And I do want to hear a little bit what you think about the art fair as well, because you got a business down there. But nonetheless, like, Barcelona Wine Bar, I wasn't as familiar with it, but you did your video. I got the great walkthrough, and it gives a nice inside view. So you kind of like, hey, I want to go see that, or that looked neat, or, you kind of have an idea of what the flavor is, and I think it's great. So just keep it up.
Yeah, and I mean, it's
appreciate
just,
it.
it's everyone, it's Mavis walking the street, finding out what's opening, Shelly, connecting with them, Emily going out and doing the videos, the whole team. Hey, you want to go for the sneak peek? Sure, let's all go for the sneak peek,
So, but they're awesome. I mean, they carry a lot of weight, for everyone. So again, just thank you. I know I'm always like, hey, you guys need to get out there and do those things, but I think you do a great job, and they're hitting.
Thank you.
And Mavis is everywhere.
Mavis
is everywhere.
I ran into Mavis at the
everywhere. Every time I drive downtown, she's going one way or the other. She's somewhere different. It's amazing.
Shelly, you want to come talk about Visitor Information Center?
All right, Visitor Center. So as you can see, we had a good December. I don't know what month I'm thinking it is. Had our typical Northeast and Delray Beach locals, lots of them coming in. But we also had a huge amount of traffic coming from other parts of Florida. Big drive traffic in December. Also the Midwest, for whatever reason, we had a nice big uptick from there. The one thing I really want to point out, though, is there is definitely a need for something to consider doing something for New Year's Eve. We had 93 phone calls of people looking for what can they do New Year's Eve and what's going on in town. And without a big central celebration going on, we were trying to direct them to different places. But there was obviously a lot of interest there. So then we also, just so you know, this morning, the visitor center was pressure washed and it looks amazing. Super clean and shiny now. We also had beautiful lighting over the holiday time. And in the month of December, we honored all of our volunteers who give so much to make everything function between our museum docents and our visitor center volunteers. I mean, it's a ton of hours that they give for absolutely free, and we gave back to them a little bit with a nice luncheon and said thank you. So, and I think they really appreciated it.
Thanks, Shelly. All right, coming up in downtown, we have First Friday Art Walk at the beginning of February. The Downtown Delray Craft Festival, that's also a Howard Island event, will be on 4th, the 7th, and 8th of February. Sounds of the Set is coming back to Libby Plaza and Northwest 5th. On February 12th, the 13th through the 22nd is the Delray Beach Open. And then we are having another Art and Jazz on the Avenue. This one is on West Atlantic Avenue, also at Libby Plaza and West Atlantic Avenue on February 25th. We intentionally moved that to season to drive traffic to West Atlantic during season.
Thank you. When was it last year?
March. So it was in February last year, but that was the first time.
It was great.
We were doing it in May and on West Atlantic, but we moved it to February.
That was a great show. That was just a great night.
It's beautiful.
That was.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. So Cornell Art Museum, we had about 900 people attended for the month, but 240 of them came to Art Walk, which was fantastic. So we had live music, we had the Yuletide carolers there, we had art happening outside, kids were creating art pieces, and then the piece on the far right, that piece was an interactive piece that was created by one of the artists with Art Connect. And folks just came up, kids came up, made their mark, and then the artist took it back and created this beautiful piece. And it's been in the museum now for the last month as an auction piece. So as it sells, as people are bidding for auction, silent auction, the museum will get a percentage and the artist will get a percentage. And it's a beautiful image of the Cornell Museum, very colorful. So it was something that the community put together. So it was a great thing. And we also had gorgeous holiday lighting at Christmas. Our donations were about $1,300, pretty much on par. We had $2,600 in sales for the store, but we also had $4,000 in art sales. So one of our artists sold 2 pieces, Crystal Bacchus, out of her exhibition, which is fantastic. We had the Dorothy Gillespie film screening. We showed a 90-minute film of Dorothy Gillespie, a documentary. And we had about 50 people there. It was great. Gary Israel was there speaking, and then also his sister on the far right in the yellow, she spoke as well. She's been coming to all of the yoga sessions at the museum, so they're both very embedded there, and they're loving their interaction in the museum. It's wonderful. It's been a great community situation. We're doing kids' workshops. We have one in January, February, and March, and the one that we just did last Saturday was very well attended. We had over 10 kids show up. It was great. It was a lot of fun. We have another one coming February and then March, and they're all Dorothy Gillespie style of art. So they're making sculptures, which is really interesting, different from what you normally would just be doing some live painting or something. But the sculptures are pretty cool, 3D. So that's still happening. And then we are planning the Art of Her Painted Ladies art group is doing an exhibition on the upper level of the museum. That's opening on the 23rd. You are all invited. Please come from 6 to 8. We have 37 female artists that are showing their work. There's about 49 pieces in the work. And then we're working on Art on the Square, the Fine Arts Show, bringing in artists. We have a live call to artists going on right now. And Mavis and I walked the entire art show this weekend, talking to artists, trying to welcome them and encourage them to sign up for us. So Mavis was with me all weekend doing that. That was great fun. We enjoyed it. And that's about it for the museum.
Thank you.
All right, and these are just the numbers from marketing for Old School Square. You can see email blast. Our open rate on there is 55%, and that's because we have a smaller audience. So when people sign up, they're more likely to open those. Social media is doing well on there. Public relations, you can see we're always in the news, and the website is also doing well. All right, and then you all heard from Patrick Lamb at the beginning of this meeting, Charlie Brown Christmas. That was on December 17th at the amphitheater. It was a great show. We had the Achievement Center Steppers. We had the School of Rock. We had
Palm Beach
young singers.
Young
And
singers
so
of
they
Palm
all
Beaches.
it was just like a holiday concert. It was a great night. This little kid was like dancing in the front, and we had the light up seesaws, teeter totters out there. So it was a fun night. We had Scooby-Doo, not Scooby-Doo. Snoopy.
Scooby-Doo's brown.
I got my cartoon dogs mixed up out there, and so it was a great event. Coming up at the Square, we have a lot now that we're into 2026. We have a lot planned for Old School Square. We're starting free movies this week. This Thursday, we're doing Ratatouille. On February 11th, we have The Lion King, and March 19th will be Inside Out. So those are free family movies that we're hosting at the Square. On January 23rd, as Mariska mentioned, the Art of Her exhibition opening. On January 25th, Club Del Rey Winter Reset. That is the Josh Bramey and the club. They are doing another cold plunge pop-up on January 25th. And then we are working on recurring events. Full Moon Yoga is coming back, we think, at the end of this month. We're just trying to get final approval. But we're going to be doing Full Moon Yoga through the summer, every month. Full Moon Yoga with Pedro and Jessica. So it should be a great time. Cocoa Market, of course, is every month, and the Green Market every week. And then February 28th and March 1st, Delray Beach Garlic Fest. I don't know if you guys heard, but Spin Doctors is going to be the headliner at Delray Beach Garlic Fest for all of us. Gen Xers? And then the big next big ticketed production that we're doing is Dirty Dancing. We've already sold more than 350 tickets for this. So the tickets are selling very well. And this is in March. And that's it. Fantastic.
What are you
that was
guys
a lot. But what have you been doing?
Yes. So also just in addition to the things that we've produced, the December itself was very busy with at Old School Square with rentals and also city events at. So it was a constant team overseeing the rental events, as well as partnering and working with the city staff on all of the different festivals that were taking place there as well. So thank you, everyone that's working hard for the team.
Everyone.
So
yes, well done.
appreciate the efforts. And thank you for your support.
I think that brings us to the downtown parking discussion.
Well, before we get to that, I just wanted to as part of our recap to you all, I did provide you all a memo with some updates regarding the where we are with the audit. We are also in our financial audit, our annual financial audit that CBIZ does for us every year. We are in the middle of that process. CBIZ also is the firm that works for this, that does the audit for the city as well. So that is underway with providing, we have on-site planning or on-site review coming up in this month. So that audit will be finalized and bringing back to you all for that delivery at the March or April meeting. But also wanted to I gave you a little bit of a summary in your backup as a memo as it relates to the work that we're doing to cure some of the findings from the internal audit by the city. So
so I just want to give brief comments, and I think what we're doing as far as the policies and procedures is we're strengthening what's already in existence. So there's the operational audit that occurred, and there was a little financial piece by the city, but from the state side, it's only going to be an operational audit, which is going to be very similar to what happened already, which was one of the issues that Laura and Jim brought up at the meeting up in Tallahassee. So the DDA doesn't have separate procedures for Old School Square and DDA items. So the things that we're going to be doing in response to the Old School Square audit are going to also impact the regular DDA operation. So we should have a stronger operation by the time the state audit gets to us. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. I think they have to go through a financing thing to get that approved and scheduled and etc. So we're not sure when that's going to happen, and we're definitely not sure when that's going to end. To the chair's point earlier, I think one of the things took like 18 months or whatever, and that's probably not out of the realm of what's going to happen here. But in the meantime, we're going to have for the next meeting some of the updates that we've been working on for you to review and consider and to provide input and or ratify those things so that Laura and the team can move forward from the city's audit, and then we can continue to improve as we go on. I think one of the things that the audit showed was we just need to be more diligent in reviewing the policies and procedures. Every organization, no matter how big, no matter how small, is going to have things that they can improve on, which is what was found. And I think we're going to do that. And with your help and with our help, I think we're going to be a better organization because of it. So we're just moving forward in that direction. So that's all I have, Laura, if you want me. Okay.
Nope, that's it. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
That was 7A?
No, we're still actually still part of the 6C. Sorry.
Oh,
okay. You want me to include that as my 7A so we can be done faster? Is that what you're trying to say?
I was asking if it was your 7A because we're supposed to have a 6F. So
and a 6D
and
and a 6E.
It's the policy follow-up.
Till we get to the
is what it
7s.
was. So now we're on 6D.
I see you working up there. I see.
Real downtown parking. I'm gonna keep the discussion quicker this month. I know that the employee parking program is continuing to grow. I'll get the exact numbers, but I know that it's growing pretty fast. Citizens, Delray Beach citizens, everyone can get their parking for $12 for the year if you live in the city. I like to say it every time, but it's a great program, and I hear that that's picking up too. Again, I'll have the numbers next time. And the metrics we're going to be getting, I know I spoke with some of the staff over there, and they're working to get that to us on the monthly, so that's coming, so we'll be able to see what the utilization looks like, different times and days and overall for the month. And the last thing on parking, and Jeff, maybe you can help us as well, or Laura, it's the signage. I know that the city updated their private parking lot signage maybe in, I don't know, I don't want to guess, April or August. But whenever it was, I think it's been updated. I think they've done the second reading. I think it's in the LDRs. And I'd love to work with, and I believe it falls under code enforcement with Ms. Pryor. I'd love to work with her to work with the property owners and the businesses that are running the private lots to make sure that we work to bring everyone into compliance. Because I think that that's something, it's season now, it's getting busier. And I just think it's part of the whole, parking program, and just we want to make sure that the changes that the city's updated are being made and handled. So that's one thing I'd like to, have an update next month with you all on, and I hope to be active partner in working with the city, make sure all the businesses are aware of what's going on and coming into compliance. So I'll keep it short. That's my parking, unless there's anything else, Laura.
One of the things I saw, just driving over here, the iPick Theater. I think
Yes.
they still have the signs out there that says it's $5 all day there.
It's
right?
$5 on the third and fourth level. So they changed their parking rates on the third and fourth level.
Is it no longer free at all during the day?
First, like
No.
90s.
No, it's a city lot. So in the city spaces, it's the $1.50.
Oh, that's right. I moved to
So on their floors, which is the third and fourth floor of the parking garage, is their private parking lot, and they are charging a $5 rate.
Okay, so that is the iPick ownership as opposed
It's
to the
fourth and
city.
fifth Delray ownership. Yes.
Fourth and fifth day, okay. And the, I guess it's interesting, that's all.
Yes. Yeah. They have like a monthly rate as well, so. that would be for outside public use versus the office use has their own. So
Right,
the
right.
International Materials and Inspirex have their own parking arrangement, which are there.
Is
The
the theater,
rentals.
I think, been in the theater forever. Is it operational and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
else? So
Yeah,
forth?
it's busy.
Have you been in there?
Great way to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like you're in a bed.
Suzanne's there all the time.
I'm there all the time.
She's a moviegoer. So
We got the October 21st letter today. Is there a reason why?
Oh,
This is the
parking letter. Yeah. So the other thing I did was when I was with Laura and we were talking about parking is I know the cities, we're running through the new parking program that the cities instituted. We had some recommendations kind of before they instituted it, and I was just kind of spoke to Laura. Maybe like now as they're having more discussions on parking, I'm just kind of resharing some of our original thoughts with them is a good idea, which was, basically, and again, I think everyone's in consensus here, is the garages possibly being free, just to provide a free parking area for people, and then you charge for the street parking. It's easy to understand. Then again, we had some ideas on limiting or not limiting the time that certain lots have, because certain lots are where employees and other people park, and
Right.
if they want to pay for some extra time in certain lots, we want to be able to try to afford that. And I think there's a couple other little things, but
Yeah,
basically
it's more for your information.
reiterating some of our stuff as the discussions happen, just to kind of say, hey, these are still some things that we thought about and want to make sure are top of mind as
Are you leaving,
they come
sir?
up in your discussions.
For the record,
Okay.
they still look really good.
So can we? Yeah.
Anything that needs action?
Before we leave.
Financials before you leave?
Well, financials and then
Do we want to do
6F.
the performance review? We're all
Oh,
set on that, I
6F,
think.
Okay.
We're all in agreement, so we're going to do it now.
Yep.
Is that fine?
Absolutely. Yes.
We're gonna do that first. 6F.
Yeah, can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Go
Then
for it.
Anthony can leave. Basically, the performance review is based off 7 criteria factors. Everyone went through and either talked to Laura or had some communication with her, and it's on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 being unsatisfactory, 5 being outstanding, and basically we added up everyone's numbers and then divided it by 7 to come with to an average. And then all those averages were then totaled and divided by the number of board members, which is 7. I guess do we go into the final number, or how does this?
You can go into the final number, and if individuals want to say their piece,
Do we want
that's
to go
obviously.
through individuals? Is anyone that wants to say more than what's on? These will be public record, I believe, all
Yes.
the forms. So if anyone has anything else to say. Okay. Okay. So everything added up and divided by the number of board members, it's 4.448%. So that'll be
Thank
the
you.
merit increase, retroactive from October, I believe.
Yes.
October's when we started our
Fiscal year.
Fiscal year. Yeah.
You do need a motion on that.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the 4.48%.
4.448. So if you wanna-
4.44.
I don't know what-
4.45.
Can we call it 4.5?
Yeah, that's right.
4.45% increase based on the averages of the performance reviews and that were received that are also public record.
I'll second that motion.
Yeah.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, you want to roll call it?
Ooh. Face.
No, I just want to make sure it's
Okay.
clear.
Okay.
Yep.
Arnelli Burton,
Aye.
Cole Davids,
Yes.
Jim Knight,
Yes.
Brian Rosen,
Yes.
Anthony Barber,
Yes.
Joe Gagliardi,
Yes.
Alan Costello.
Yes.
You do a lot. You don't get paid
Thank
enough.
you.
I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay.
There's a lot of people that wouldn't take the money to do what you do.
Well, I love my job. Thank you very much. All right, so we're on back to 6E. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so this is really reporting only on October financials. We have November financials. They weren't quite ready to provide to you with the backup, so we'll be getting this to you this week so you can have more time to review them. The big thing, as you all know, are maybe might not know, but the tax revenue payments start in November. So our revenue, our income does not start coming in until mid-November. So reflective of the ad valorem tax payments is zero as we start our year. So it's really important for us as we go into this year to understand that we're running almost 2 months on our reserves. So there's a big, significant, expenses you'll see in there. Nothing's out of line. On the placemaking, you'll see it's higher just based on our decorative lighting. So our Atlantic Avenue decorative lighting that we put in place last year, we split over 2-year payments. So it's reflective of that. And our banners, we also had new banners purchased this year. But moving into Old School Square, also the same thing. Our revenues at the payment we did receive the payment in December for the $350,000 from the city, so that'll be reflective in the December financials. But running again on our reserves there for the operation. The big activities for Old School Square centered around Cornell Museum and our operation expenses. So. Nothing really out of line there. Everything's in order, but I'm happy to answer questions if anybody has questions.
I'll bump out a couple things I
sir.
normally do.
Well, he's going to give a lot of things, so I just
Yeah,
have one
start with
quick
him.
question. He's going to have a handful of them, which is great. I appreciate it very much, seriously. Can we break down, or is it broken down, maybe it is in the backup here, the other revenue, that like under the DDA revenue, the $67,000, is that broken down?
So that's September financials. So with September, I just did comparisons here. So September is in, but revenues, the 67.
But that's broken down somewhere in the future.
It is.
So we have
Okay, it is
great.
in our.
I wanted to make sure
it's
that
under
was-
sponsorship or miscellaneous income.
Okay.
So the other revenues in our DDA, we have a sponsorship category as well as miscellaneous. Sponsorship is truly sponsorship. Or our partnership program, and then miscellaneous is really our the fee to participate in an event. So if you are participating, for art and jazz vendor fees are included in that miscellaneous income, as well as if there's Savor the Avenue, if there's a fee for Savor the Avenue, there was miscellaneous income for that. So those are the two income.
And that's been a hot item a little bit in the paper, the Savor the Avenue and the fee and so forth, and so hopefully we can figure that all out, so forth.
I'm happy to clarify, but if that's a question, we can clarify that at next month's meeting of what that is, or I can clarify it under board comments or now, whatever you want. But I'd like to share visually what that is and how it is and compares to years past. So.
I mean,
it's a
great
around
event.
Savor
I
the
love
Avenue.
it. I mean, it's
an economic development event. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's your question.
Ryan, jump in.
I'll start with my kind of the broader things that I just will bring up real quick, just with the financials. One, it's January and we're looking at October. We're almost got November done. I don't know if we need more staff working on the financials, like more accounting staff or someone, but it's so far behind. It's a little hard for us. Again, we're looking at October and it's, mid-January and just been a lot of financial stuff going on. I don't know if you need more support or if it's something we need to look at, but we definitely, it would be, and they've been behind. It's not like, and I know with all the audits and stuff, it's put us even further, and you guys have been buried.
That's unusual.
But I came on a year and a half ago, or whenever I came on, and we were always a little behind. And I know we didn't have a big accounting group. We had the guy, so it's just something I want to visit because it's been going on for a while, so it'd be good if it was just.
December. So back up before Old School Square, we were doing the month end. So at January, we were looking at December. So because of the influx of the amount of revenue, but whether it's the different platforms that are coming in from Old School Square. So Old School Square budget and financial overview does take a lot more time to reconcile. So it is hard to have that on a monthly basis. So to see true December numbers now would be very, very difficult because to get all the invoices and all of that reconciled within 4 days.
Right.
Because
I get that. Yeah.
But starting
3
now,
months now,
right?
almost,
So starting now, you'll have November and December for February's meeting.
Okay.
So we'll only be truly looking
like a
at
month
the
behind,
month
but I mean, it's
behind.
fine.
Yeah,
That's okay.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
just when we start going to 2 months, and you know what I mean.
I
It's,
agree.
it's hard
I
to
totally
catch
agree.
up, and
Yep.
you know we're getting asked questions. He's looking at stuff that happened like months ago, and you know.
Yeah, no, I
that's-
agree. I agree.
That was
Yeah,
the
but I
one thing, and then
appreciate
the other broad stroke thing before I ask my other quick questions was just, you know, I know when we first met, I was like, hey, let me see the general ledger. You're like, general ledger, you know, what do you want to see that? But it's like, it just shows every transaction. And there's 2 transactions. There's credits and debits. It can be a little confusing, but it gives you so much color and you actually see what's happening. I know I always bother you for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if everyone else is seeing it, but can you make sure that everyone gets
Absolutely.
the access to
Sure.
the same drive and really just like sees every transaction that the DDA does, so they
Yeah.
get an idea just how busy and what we're doing and all the things, because it gives you a better idea of everything that's
Right.
happening when you see, you know, the money going, whether it's the PR company or the website design group or this group or that,
Right.
and you kind of see the different things and who we're working with and understanding how the machine works.
Yeah.
It'll just help with everything else.
Yeah, and just to say, in the past, board members have actually sat when we go through the reconciling of all of the invoices, and sat and went through every invoice as we went through it as a team. So that, you know, in the past, that's been a practice that's happened too. So whether it's the treasurer or the chair would sit and go through when I'm with the bookkeeper going through all of that and the team. So it's everybody has a different view, and I'm happy to
I would just
make all of
suggest
it
that. I don't know
available
if
for
anyone
you
else
all.
is interested, but I think
Sure.
you know, but then when I talk about stuff, people know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And be
I'd
like,
love
what
to
is this
volunteer
thing?
you to sit in on that.
No, I don't need to sit in on. I'm fine with the GL. I can look at it and ask questions. I don't need to go through everything. Right? The ones my stuff pops out. Like we'll run through this real quick, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at October. It's the first month in the year. So what am I looking for? Anything that's like kind of. There's some stuff over 10%, but anything that's like well over 10% of a spend on a budget item, right? So I'm just ripping through this quickly. There are a few things that caught my eye.
Okay. Wait, say that again, I'm sorry.
Dues and subscriptions, we're pretty good on that. I assume some of that. I don't know. It's like 9,000 total. We're 4,500 in,
Mhm.
and it's the first month in the year. I just want to make sure we're okay.
Yeah, some
on
of
that.
the, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
one. Again, we can talk about this stuff later. You can look at the minutes. I'm just
Okay.
gonna talk about my questions. I don't need
All right,
answers right
perfect.
now.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah. Total internet advertising, we're at 51% of our total spend, which $53,000 is our total spend, and we're at 26,000 in October.
Mhm.
The design and printing, again, we're just at 16%. It was just a little high, but what's the total monthly campaign? What number is that? I mean, what does that come from?
Month on the.
That is on the DDA fiscal year
Page?
approved budget marketing page B. It's page
B,
8
yep.
of 15.
So that is,
Middle of the page.
it's all, no, that's on DDA. So it's an old classification, but it is based on our monthly marketing spend. So it's a total of our creative, our advertising, both whatever most of it's under our digital advertising.
Yeah, it was a big
So-
budget number. That's 133,000 for the year, or our 142 adopted budget. We spent 36,000, 25% of it. So again, just want to make sure, and it could just be stuff we're spending on front end on the website.
Yep.
Or whatever,
it's-
and it probably is. But again, when I
it's-
see that we spent 25% of the budget the first month,
Mhm.
it catches my eye. And then again, even it plays into the total marketing DDA district expense. We spent 32% of the total budget. Just want to make sure we're in line, and some of it's front end loaded, which it very well might be. And then my other quick ones, and again, I think we're good, but again, decorative lighting, 45%. We might
Right.
have already did deposits for next year. Holiday lighting,
Yep.
same thing, 25%, but again, they could be a lot of deposits. Awesome museum store, killing it on the revenues. I saw, we're 58% of our total revenues in the first month of the year. I love to see that with almost $6,000. So that's awesome for October. And I'm sure you're already doing better based on the things you're sharing now. So that's awesome. And I always want to make sure my museum has the money because Maruska does so much over there. And I just saw that the exhibitions combined and rotating, we're at about 34% of the total budget. Her total budget's 26,000, and we've spent about 7.
Mhm.
So again, I just want to make sure we give her the money to do the things we want to see her do throughout the rest of the time we're running this, because she's doing such an amazing job in that space, and just want to make sure we got the dough. And those are really my main ones. I saw some stuff with like grounds maintenance and signage, but they're like small numbers, you know?
Mhm.
So I just assume we spent some money out of that budget for something that we want to see done for
Yep.
the year. And other than that, I saw the reserves thing, which you were talking about as far as the funds go, and I'm done. We can catch up on it next month. But those are my things.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Motion to approve
Second.
monthly budget, or financial, excuse me.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Beautiful. Thank you. And with that,
All right, we're up to the DDA attorney comments.
There he is. Oh,
I
man.
got a lot of comments today.
Hold on, I gotta use
I'm
the
glad
restroom
he's going to
first.
miss
No.
this. I just wanted to remind you, I guess we are starting tomorrow our state's legislative session from the 13th to March 13th. There's probably going to be a lot of things that affect the city, of course, and many of those things will probably affect the DDA. The biggest thing in the state right now is the ad valorem discussion. I'm not sure where that's going to end up, but I know the city is really looking into that, and I am as well. So if there's any other bills or issues that you all know about that you want some more information, please reach out to me and let me know, and I can give that to you.
There was something about, well, two things. Let's go back to the ad valorem for a minute. We should probably look at, I think I've mentioned this to you before, Laura, what percentage, if it's the homestead, that seems to be the direction they're headed, so forth. So what percentage of our income is coming from homesteaded residents only? It's not the commercial businesses as well that they're talking about. So we have an idea in case that does get passed. We're at least looking ahead towards it to try to understand, is that, you know, is it 15%? Is it 20%? I mean, we have all the tax IDs, I believe, of everybody that is in the DDA district, right? Because that's how you get paid.
Mhm.
So we should be able to see whether it's a homestead or not a homestead for each of those people and so forth, and try to figure that out. The other thing that I saw was there's, and there is something out there, I saw some kind of cap on the commercial as well, potentially. So that's got to be looked at as well. And then I saw something where their states sounds like they're actually giving back a little bit of authority under that Senate Bill 180 that was passed, where they took away a lot of the authority and so forth. I saw an article, I think it was yesterday in one of the papers, or maybe in both of them, that was talking about maybe, you know, putting that back in, some of that authority back in the municipalities and so forth. So the home rule type thing. So just keep an eye on that if that's anything that has any effect on us.
I'll definitely take a look at that one. Thank you. That was in my comments.
That's it from me. So we have the executive director.
Well, first of all, thank you all for your feedback on performance. I appreciate it, and I do care about my job and this town very, very much. So I appreciate your support always, and look forward to continuing the strong and determined work that we have. I also wanted just to remind you again about Thursday the 22nd, but also to the point of the state, and it was, I know Jim and I spoke about it, but if there is a desire or interest in looking at a lobbyist for the Downtown Development Authority, and potentially looking into costs as it relates to hiring a lobbyist firm specifically for our organization.
So I think we had talked to somebody was it something with the, I mean, like, what is
West
the other?
Palm.
West Palm.
West Palm has a lobbyist who
Right.
actually was the, how I found out about the internal audit or the
Okay.
state audit through their lobbyist who brought it to their attention. So I don't know, I know you and I haven't really had that conversation, but I do think there's, just with all of these different things that are coming up, potentially could be an opportunity for us to at least look into.
It would be great if there's somehow to team up with somebody that, and not more than just West Palm. I don't know if that's through the Florida Legal Cities or any of these other, or the, whether it's through some of the other, whether it's the CRA or the city or whatever else. Try to, if we're going to put money towards it, I'd like, because lobbyists can be very expensive, right? I have clients that spend, $300,000 a year on lobbyists, and to be right. So it'd be great to see that money, if it's a way to do it without causing friction somehow, to be able to utilize. Because again, I don't know how far the money towards a lobbyist goes unless, yeah, correct.
Okay.
Because I think that if I recall, it was up at the county, and there's a guy named Ron Book out of Miami, who's probably he's a Democrat as opposed to Republican in a pretty much controlled Republican state and Senate, so forth, House and Senate, but they recently did something new for the Solid Waste Authority, and I think that ran like $90,000 a year just for one item, one overlook, so forth. So it can get very expensive. That's my only comment to that. And I don't know what the best way is to approach it. And maybe it is best just to have our own lobbyists, but it's something that we should look at and understand.
Forgetting the cost, what is there a need? If there's a need, then we need to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think with everything that's going on right now, potentially,
Yeah.
we certainly need to have our ears to the ground and
Right.
understand what is going to take place.
So,
something's going to come out. There's no question about it. I'd be very shocked if something doesn't change with the ad valorem, some basis. I don't know. There's like 7 different bills sponsored out there, so forth.
Yeah. So I know this all the cities have their own lobbyists, and they're all lobbying this particular issue, of course, because it's probably the most important issue facing cities in the last whatever years, because it's going to deeply impact budgets, etc. I've been in meetings where there's been
thank you, Cole.
there's been presentations about what the impacts will be for the most impactful bill that's on the table at the moment, and it was significant in cutting into the operations of that particular city. So, does the DDA need their own lobbyists? I don't know the answer to that. I won't presume to tell you whether or not to do that or not. I think you have the ability to do it, which is where my role would be on that. But to I think to Al's point, we need to, if that's where you want to go or may want to go, you need to figure out what are they actually going to be doing, so that there's not some ambiguous thing. And I know you talked a lot about that, but that just needs to be codified
And it
and
needs
whatever.
looked at pretty quickly because, sessions, like you said, started. So
Yeah, and I know you mentioned this, is the organization, the downtown organization has their own lobbyists as well. So
They don't have one on retainer, though. The downtown doesn't. Florida Downtowns does not.
They don't? I
No.
thought.
That's what I was
Oh,
wondering
I
about.
thought that's what okay.
They've been using one of the downtown's lobbyists. So St.
The
Pete's.
issue,
St.
right?
Pete's.
The issues that you all care about, the city also cares about. So there may be some level of ability to discuss that with the city if the speed is the issue, because they already have an engagement with someone.
Do we know who they're using currently?
I
Ballard.
don't know.
Ballard.
Who was it? I'm sorry.
Ballard Partners.
Okay. So there may be opportunity there. That's something that can be discussed. I think.
Okay, I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, and just for the record, the bill you were discussing earlier about the SB 180 is SB 840.
Okay.
Is the new bill, the glitch bill is what they're calling it. So not sure. I haven't studied the bill, so I'm not sure how much change that is going to make to what happened last year if it passes. So that's something I can bring back to you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, board members, Al?
Made it through the whole meeting, Al. You pushed
Yeah.
through.
Most of me made it through, but not all of me. I want to just, I don't think we commend our team enough. You did a great job today of commending the team. But I feel like I want to go through everything. The amazing number of social media hits to Emily, and the web page is just incredible, and the museum is unbelievable, and the numbers and the report by Shelley today was incredible. I'm too tired to go on, but the team's amazing, and I'm really happy with the 4.448 that we got. I gave a 5. It was easy to divide mine by 7. I've watched Laura build a team, get stuck with the old school square, probably my fault. And I've watched the team grow and do and create and deliver success that's unbelievable. I don't have enough words, and I don't know how to put it in print. I'm just enthused, amazed, and grateful for what they do. So thank you.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks, Al.
Sure.
I gave a 5 too for everything. The only thing that I want to say is I have a good feeling about 2026. I think it's going to be a great year. I think that we're on a good track. I think that the movement, to your point, of everything you showed us today is excellent. It's, hard work seriously paid off. I think that everyone's recognizing it. I think with all the recent stress that was going on, it's finally coming to a close. I think that we'll swiftly be able to hopefully put that behind us right away, work together as a team. And I look forward to that. I think that we're going to be on a better track. And that's it.
Thank you.
I'll be quick. Team's awesome. I'm glad you think I'm doing a better job supporting them, because I try. I do. It's something I've been part of my 2026 focuses, resolutions. But because honestly, like, the team's awesome. What we've done at Old School Square, it's like unbelievable over the last couple of years, and it's going to be great for whomever we work with in the future. It's the building blocks. So it's been awesome to kind of see all that happen, from the board side when I've been on here, even before I was on the board. So that's all great. Datafied looks great. I'm a metrics guy. I'll probably come in sometime to sit with staff so you can show me some of the stuff and what it does. But looks great. I love that you're just on the tech and finding the tools that are going to be able for us to really show what we do. When we can run ads and show the money going back that we're pushing to, going to the places, spending money, it's so awesome. It's great. And, with everything going on, all the audits, 3 audits in a month or whatever it is, just keep it up. You guys are doing great. I know it's a lot. I'm confident we'll come out on top, and never had any doubts, and there's always going to be things that we can do better. So thank you, everyone.
Aaron? Glad to be here. Yeah, I just want to say kudos to the entire team and everything you do. I mean, I know you're working 24/7. Mavis, my knees are ready to go, so I'm ready to do the block captain job now. So you let me know when the next round is to happen, and if that's after this meeting, I'm ready to go. So
You're going to keep up with Mavis?
I'm going to try. I'm
When
going
is
to
it,
my
Mavis?
hardest.
Yeah, when
And-
is it? I didn't get the email or see it text.
Super.
All right. Yeah, just make sure I get the email.
Yeah, I look
or put it in
forward
my
to
calendar
it
even,
getting
just
out
so
because it's
in there.
come a long ways and everything else and so forth. And I do appreciate the board and the board's time that they put in up here and everything else. And there's been some struggles, but let's continue to move forward. And I don't know if you ever seen the movie or the thing called The Secret. Well, if you put it out there and you believe it and you know it's going to happen and you keep thinking upon that, it happens. with anything, with business, with family, with whatever it could be. So just put those good thoughts out there and let the other ones just wash down the river. Thank you.
I have one thing that I want to say. I know we have this meeting on the 22nd. I know it's important that we're informed and prepared. I leave tomorrow. I'm flying to Europe because I have a trade show from my industry. I will be there until the night of the 21st. So I need anybody that can communicate with me, email, WhatsApp, all of that. I'm happy to take time while I'm at the airport, both going and coming, depending upon if that time is good for you, so that we can coordinate, and anything I can do from over there, I will.
Just make sure it's staff only. Let's not step out of bounds.
Oh, yeah.
Although Quentin will go to Europe with you for 10 days on a conference. He said, I think he's open to that. Make that move.
That sounds expensive.
I was like,
For
checking the dates.
And if that's it, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You can have this pen, but you can't have my roller.
There you go.